provider can make a huge difference. Trust me on this. That's why I've always and only partner with Verizon Business. Their My Biz plan makes it easy to build a wireless plan that fits the exact way you work. Period. Stop. Get the flexibility and reliability your business deserves, including built-in security or international calling. Connect with a Verizon Business rep today at verizon.com/bizfans and get started right away.
Looking for the best value on new tires? Get to Town Fair Tire. We honor every valid manufacturer's and competitor rebates and give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
All right, they won. You gotta text your buddies. Except you're driving. If you have to respond, pull over. Texting and driving is illegal and could lead to an accident. A safety message from the Rothenberg Law Firm. InjuryLawyer.com.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
For 100 years, London Jewelers has been part of life's most meaningful moments, from engagements and anniversaries to milestones, big and small. We've helped mark the moments that matter the most to our customers. Generations of families have trusted London Jewelers for exceptional craftsmanship, timeless design, and service that lasts a lifetime. As we celebrate a century of excellence, we thank you for being part of our story, and we look forward to the moments still to come. We invite you to visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of brilliance.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Grr, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought, because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Your New York Yankees are chasing another championship. Talk Yankees baseball with the Fan at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
Oh, that's right. Anthony Gallo back on the Fan. 888-808-1019. This Fan Focus presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. If you just missed it, Cody Bellinger to the IL, and the Yankees are calling up Spencer Jones from AAA, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. And again, it just furthers my point. They're going to have to make a move sooner rather than later. You cannot wait till the 3rd. You cannot try to piece this together with a couple of Band-Aids. Offensively, they have to go make a move. I know Brian Cashman will take a swing. I know Yankee fans are going to act like he doesn't, but most of you live in delusion anyway. He'll take a swing. He's got to do it sooner rather than later. My fear is the Yankees are going to be in on most guys, but they're not going to pull the trigger till late, and they're going to miss out on some key pieces. So you don't have to go and chase an outfielder because Judge and Bellinger are hurt. You don't. But what you need to do is go out there, either upgrade catcher, third base, or shortstop. You're going to get Bellinger back. I think we're going to wait and see, but I don't think they're going to give you more than that. If he was seriously injured, we'd know right in this moment. He's got a left hamstring strain. Maybe they don't even make him go to the rehab assignment. Maybe it's just 10 days and back. We've seen that happen before with other players. But if it gets extended, they're going to have to make a move. And I don't want to hear about the injuries being an excuse why they shouldn't make a move. If Judge isn't going to be back this year, which I do think he will ultimately be back, I think they're just taking it slow because there's no urgency right now to run him back into the lineup. Maybe this changes things. You need to go out and make a move regardless. Go get a guy who's here. If they're going to go out and get a Hunter Goodman, a Devers, a Machado, a C.J. Abrams, whoever it is, and some of those may be far-fetched, those guys are going to be here well past next year. So there's no reason to say they're a rental. You're not going to go out there and get a guy on a one-year deal unless it's for cheap. Like you go out and get a Luis Arraez for 1 year. That's different. You're not blowing up the farm to go get a Luis Arraez or a Ryan Jeffrey or whoever it is, a catcher that is 1 year deal or 2 year deal or you lose control via arbitration or whatever next year. Then I get that being an excuse because why are you going to blow up the farm for rental? But there's no other excuse to not make a move. You need to go compete. The AL is weak. If you get to the World Series, you have a chance. 888-808-1019. And I'm not saying they're going to just walk through the American League. They've been beaten and battered offensively the whole season. They've dealt with pitching injuries the whole season, and they're 2 games out from having the best record in the American League. My man, my dear friend, ball knower of basketball, but also a big baseball fan, Spike in St. Petersburg. What up, Spike?
I'm looking out the window. Rasmussen's knocking off the Guardians. I think he's got 8 or 9 strikeouts and giving up 1 hit. He's like, what is he, 6 foot 250?
Right.
He's a big guy. Yeah, I see these guys once in a while.
Yeah, you're in Rays country, if there is a Rays country.
I'm about, if I could ride my bike still, which I wouldn't chance at this point, but I'm about 10-minute bike ride away, about 3 miles from that dump. It's really a dump.
It is.
No, it's built up. They built it on the wrong side of the highway. I don't want to waste my time talking about that, but yeah, the Yankees. Look, they got a great staff, and they got to score more than 1 or 2 runs. It's going to show up, and we'll see. Yes. But you're right. If this team that's 3-4 miles from me, with the guys they got and the system they got, I think they grow 6'5" relief pitchers in the bottom of the basement there. It's a strange operation with good ownership and a low payroll. I got to give them credit. They get so far. But let me get to the main event here. I'm going to eviscerate the Sixers.
Let's hear it, Spike.
I think the bookies made a quick move. I don't know if they were trying to hold off Sitting Bull at the Alamo. I don't know what they were doing there. I really don't. First of all, I got on with one of my buddies who works at the other station, Michael Kay, who was doing the game. And we came back from vacation, and he says, "Go ahead, what do you got?" I said, Michael, I watched every second of Philly and Boston, and I watched the sweep with the Knicks, and Embiid's washed. He walks like, I told Paulie, he walks like on Sanford and Son. I don't know if you ever watched.
Yes, I'm very familiar. Yeah, he does, and he's very.
Like great. He looks like Grady, his friend Grady, his neighbor, and he walks like I do. I told both my boys. I said, your dad's 80 and got some issues. Embiid can't jump defensively. There's going to be 10 to 12 teams in the East that are going to win 43, 44 games. Imagine Toronto gets Kawhi and they run pick and roll at Embiid. He can't move.
Well, he's slow-footed. Yeah.
He got bad legs, knees. He's played under 500 games. He missed the first 2 years.
Yep.
He's played 96 games, and he slows them down. Maxey is a great kid. Great attitude from Kentucky. He played quickly. He can't play a lick of defense, but he's a really good scorer. And he plays as fast as anybody. Reminds me of Westbrook at that speed. But you pick up Jalen Brown, ball sensitive, fairly good defender. LeBron can still play defense, but he's not going through screens and picks.
Well, and he's also that's the thing, Spike, is what are they going to do? Yeah. Like, we saw the way Embiid refused to play closeout defense. His drop defense is terrible.
Looks out of shape.
Yeah, and now you're going to have LeBron, and I appreciate you. I'll talk to you this week, my man.
Yeah, be good, buddy. Give me a call and let tomorrow.
I got you, Spike. The great Spike. Me and him talk a lot of basketball during the week. What are they going to do? I actually think this was the worst case scenario for the Knicks. That does not mean I think the Sixers are better than the Knicks. And we'll dive into it a little bit more later, but what are the Sixers going to do when these two guys are on the court together, they're not closing out. Their drop defense is lazy. And Embiid is going to miss games. Even if he's healthy, he's going to miss about 25 games because they need to make sure he's ready for the postseason. And I don't care how much weight he loses. His legs don't have that explosiveness. He's still an immense talent offensively. He's one of the best I've ever seen in my lifetime with the ball in his hands. But he's also on the ground a lot. And this is not a flopping take. He doesn't have the strength to keep himself upright offensively. And when you have to play teams like the Knicks, we could talk about the Western Conference teams too, where Cat is going to drag bigs out to the arc. And if they're running their starting lineup, then if he's not doing it, OG will do it. Who are you going to put Embiid on? Josh Hart? He's going to sit outside the arc. And if you leave him open, he'll make you pay or he'll slash to the rim, and he's going to create. We saw that all postseason. They still don't have somebody who could cover Jalen Brunson. LeBron is not going to be able to cover Jalen Brunson. We know quickly. Maxey cannot. VJ cannot. Brown cannot. And Jaylen Brown is a good defender. And that doesn't, just because you can't cover Jalen Brunson doesn't mean you're a bad defender, but they don't have that guy to slow him down. And that's the lens I'm looking at this through. Do I think it hurt the Knicks the most for him to go to the Sixers? Sure. If he went to the Heat, that is a lineup that is very one-dimensional. They still would have all the flaws they have. You get, the Thanasis, Bronny, filling up bench spots on that team, whatever it is. If he went to the Warriors, great story. They're a non-factor in the Western Conference. And if he went to Cleveland, again, great story. That doesn't put them over the top. With the Sixers, the one thing I do see is he is the third, fourth, fifth option at times. If VJ takes a step, he can at times take over where they don't need Bron. Even if Embiid is hurt, he's the third option on that team. I still think Maxey is one of the best point guards in the league. He's not Brunson, but he is right in that group right after him. And Jaylen Brown is a Finals MVP caliber player. That was the worst case scenario for the Knicks, but it does not mean they are better than the Knicks. And I don't want to hear about on paper they're better. What about on the court? What about 1 through 10 on that rotation? Their bench is frail. They did a great job in the draft. I'm not going to knock the Sixers. And the other thing is, they're going to have to go through a year of these guys gelling. And we've seen in NBA history, year one, outside of Kawhi midseason going to the Raptors, how many year one changes to a team, massive changes to a team, have we seen go off flawlessly and did not take time to grow? The Miami Heat took time to grow. The Boston Celtics took time to grow. Go through it. Whatever. We only got 1 year of the Karl Malone, Gary Payton Lakers. Like, how much time are they going to need to gel? And if it takes a full season, you're now a year older with Embiid, a year older with LeBron. And LeBron's in great shape. I'm not worried about him health-wise, but it is father time. He is undefeated. So that is just another aspect of this. If you're looking from, a different lens, though, as far as the NBA goes, I think this was the best case scenario because there was a real shot. I'm not trying to be arrogant here. If they don't get LeBron and he ends up in Cleveland or Miami or Golden State or Minnesota, Eastern Conference-wise, the Knicks might have ran through the Eastern Conference. We don't know what Halliburton's health is going to be. They said it seems like he's going to be ready opening night, but you don't know what his health is going to be. That may take time to grow. The Celtics are going to be way worse than they were last year. The Miami Heat are an incomplete team, and I still view them as a team that I can't pencil in as a top 4 team. And the Sixers would have been good, but shallow and missing that one piece, which was this LeBron James move. I think this gives you a natural rivalry, not just because of two good teams, but it's Philly, New York. It's LeBron and the Knicks, and not that that's a rivalry, but media-wise, it's been a rivalry. It's been a very one-sided rivalry through LeBron's career. But it adds to that rivalry. And I know Craig said it this week that if you're not viewing the Sixers as a top rival to the Knicks, I don't. I view them as a top 4 or 5 but I would put the Celtics, Pacers, and Heat far ahead of them. The Sixers in my lifetime alone, they've never they only played twice, I think, in my lifetime in the playoffs. They haven't beaten them in that. They've never really both been good at the same time where When they have, the Knicks have dominated that series. You know, those Ben Simmons Sixers teams that never lost to the Knicks, and I'm only calling them the Ben because that was the stat. He never lost to the Knicks. The Knicks were terrible. In the early 2000s, the Knicks and the Sixers, with those AI-led Sixers, they didn't cross much, and that Knicks window slammed shut. I've seen multiple iterations of the Pacers bother me. I've seen multiple iterations of the Miami Heat bother me, and the Boston Celtics, whether, you know, everyone views them as a true rival. I've hated them my entire life. Paul Pierce, what you name it, they've bothered me. And this truly takes this rivalry to another level. And it's now following suit in the other sports: Eagles, Giants, Phillies, Mets, and now Sixers, Knicks. Flyers, Rangers has lost its luster a bit. But those three sports you really have, even with the Mets and the Phillies being in total different directions, that is still a rivalry that I know Philly fans like to dominate the Mets, and we've gotten the better of them the last few years. Regardless of their success, we've beaten them in the playoffs. The Mets have, outside of this year, had a very good record against them. And then the Eagles-Giants, obviously, is an all-time NFL rivalry. But I viewed Knicks-Sixers as more of a Mets-Braves type rivalry, where most of that rivalry has been one-sided. In the Knicks' favor, obviously. But this adds to it. The LeBron James New York City aspect is never going to go away because Knicks fans have held it against him that he didn't come here, and I think that's fair. That's fine. I do think there is just a lot of people in this market that do not like LeBron James. Again, fair. You add in the Joel Embiid Sixers aspect of this. It adds to it. Even with the domination of them this year, even with them winning 3 years ago against the Sixers, it adds to that. It's good for the NBA. It's good for the Knicks. I am not like, you know, my guy C-Mac who's like, oh, now we got to, I don't care if we have a true rival. I'm going to hate the teams I hate. And it's been generational. We all have, you know, me and Paulie grew up hating the Braves and Phillies. Joe B grew up hating the Cardinals. Like, it's all generational. As Met fans, when you look at, I mean, the Yankees and Red Sox is a protected rivalry, if you want to use college football terms. Like, but for the Knicks, I guess it's generational. There's guys like Joe B. I used to talk to him. He hated the Lakers. I don't really have, there's no opinion of the Lakers outside of, you know, at times I've hated them through LeBron or like the Kobe Shaq Lakers. I've had my issues with them, but they're not a rivalry of the Knicks. The Miami Heat, I've hated them my entire life. I don't think there is a franchise besides the Phillies I despise more than the Miami Heat franchise. The Pacers have tortured me in my entire life. I don't remember the Reggie Miller series, but as far as my lifetime, they have dominated the Knicks in the playoffs. They've always been a thorn in our side, and specifically this Knicks teams they've owned. And then the Boston Celtics are the Boston Celtics, and that is a rivalry that I won't get past. And I get it. Different generations have their different view of it. This adds another true rival to the Knicks. This adds to the storyline. This adds to the NBA conversation that I don't think if he goes to Miami or Golden State, to a lesser extent Cleveland, I don't think the Eastern Conference is much more than the Knicks playground. Now you get a team that's going to give them fits. I do think they're the second best team in the East, but I still think the Knicks are going to be the best team. And when it's all said and done, they'll be fighting for a chance to repeat that title. We got a lot to get into. 888-808-1019. Bellinger to the IL. Spencer Jones up. The Yankees need to make a move. Do you view outfield now as a priority for the Yankees? I don't. What do you think? 888-808-1019. We'll come back, talk that. We'll talk Knicks, Bron, all of that right here on The Fan.
It's The Carton Show with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle. Afternoons 2 to 7 on The Fan, 101.9 FM.
LeBron James. I'm loving it. He couldn't have picked a better town to go to. Like, he went to MSG South.
Yeah.
Because the Knicks said no to him this time around. He went to MSG South. It's as close as he could get to being a Knick without being a Knick.
Get The Carton Show on demand. Available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and the free Odyssey app.
When you're at my level, you even spell sales differently. S-A-I-L-E-S. Now, I've closed enough deals to know a couple things. Hustle takes breaks. Infrastructure doesn't. The best sales teams don't wake up wondering where pipeline will come from. It's always working, quietly, in the background. Sales AI is pipeline as infrastructure, always on, like a power grid running under your reps. Start today at SAILES.com.
The all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5 is designed to give you more of what matters. More passenger space and headroom for greater comfort. More cargo space, a lower lift-in height, and a standard power liftgate on every model. More connectivity with Google built-in integration, plus Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All in a family-friendly SUV that delivers exceptional value. Drive a Mazda during the Mazda's More to Move You sales event and discover what makes Mazda the safest new car brand by Consumer Reports. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Hey, Yankees fans! Join us at Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 21st, as the Yankees take on the Toronto Blue Jays. And don't miss Cody Bellinger Bobblehead Night, presented by T-Mobile. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will take home an exclusive Cody Bellinger bobblehead. Get here early, grab the giveaway, and cheer on the Bronx Bombers. Tickets are available now at Yankees.com/tickets.
Total Orthopedics is expanding across Long Island and New Jersey with offices coming to Babylon, West Babylon, Comac, and West Orange. From sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com today.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. After years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works. With Red Pocket Mobile, you lock in your rate and you keep it. No price creep, no sudden jumps, just straightforward pricing and premium 5G plans starting at $10 a month. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
BetMGM Sportsbook is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Log in every day for your chance to win, pick an area of the strike zone and take your swing. If you get a hit, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet. Just log into your BetMGM Sportsbook account and visit your promotions section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Swing for the fences every day with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets expire in 7 days.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed-sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with no rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Circa Survivor, pick one winner each week. Last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Start your day with Boomer and Gio. Join the conversation weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount
drinks this weekend, and I don't drink much, so now I am paying for it, with multiple trips to the bathroom. Not to TMI you guys, but Friday night they did which Rosenberg could have hung out with me. And, instead he sends his, passively aggressive Instagram messages. But in my neighborhood, they call him a summer stroll on 3rd Avenue in Bay Ridge. They shut down part of the avenue. There's drinks and dancing, live music, food, all that. And we went out then, had a couple drinks. And then yesterday, my buddy had you could hear it in my voice. My buddy had his baby shower. And yes, I know. Oh, these men going to baby showers? This is what year is it? But we went, and I had way too many cut waters and brown liquors. So I am paying for it. I probably should have eaten something this morning, too. And, I was drunkenly texting Rosenberg yesterday about guests. And
now, when you said you went to have you been throwing up?
No.
I just wanted to make that clear.
No, I think we understand what I was saying.
No, I didn't.
No, I guess I didn't. I meant coming out the other side.
You didn't need to say that, but I figured that part out.
I'm just being honest. I ate and drank a lot yesterday, and I don't normally. I eat a lot all the time, but I don't really drink anymore.
I know that.
Yes, thank you for that. Appreciate that. That was uncalled for. I felt like a shot. I'm sure.
Not at all.
My fiance's probably in a great laugh at that right now.
I'm sure the fiance/girlfriend is having a wonderful time with that. Don't worry.
You're trying to get me killed. No, we had a lot of food yesterday though, and it was awesome. Shout out to my guy, Chico, having a beautiful baby boy in September, and it was good. A lot of good food, a lot of good friends. It was good to see some people, but I can't handle my drinks anymore. 888-808-1019, and Friday was great in the neighborhood. It's cool to see real New York environment like that still going on. Moose in Jamaica. What up, Moose?
What up, Al? Anthony, what's going on? How are you?
What's up, dude?
Chilling. So yeah, quick note. 2 things. Best food to just get something in your stomach. I was told that a slice of pizza from a legit pizzeria, the oils, the cheese, the bread will soak up the alcohol, so you don't get the after effects the morning after. And
I thought I ate enough last night, Moose. I thought I ate enough to absorb that. So that's what I was feeling. I was like, I'm good. I thought I ate enough, and then this morning I think all I had was a peach, and it's not helping.
What kind of place you went to?
What do you mean? No, we were at like a backyard barbecue. Like we were eating.
So you ate
chicken, rice.
Heavy.
We had a ton.
Right. So if you don't have the pounding headache,
I don't know.
A quick fix.
I'm not hungover. My stomach is just paying for what I drank yesterday.
But this is a shout out to anybody. An Alka-Seltzer cold and flu, a ginger ale, a green tea, the Arizona green tea with ginseng. And
it's the ginseng and the green tea.
You mix all of that, and maybe within an hour, if you need to take a nap for half an hour, you'll go to the bathroom and your hangover will be gone. That's the headache.
Well, I'll tell you this much.
Cure.
Yeah. I'll tell you this much. I'm not hungover. I am just feeling the effects of not being someone who drinks and affecting my stomach more. I feel great otherwise.
If there's any after effects, just saying. Alka-Seltzer cold and flu, the evaporating tablet that mixes in water. Don't put it with water. Put it with ginger ale, a little ginger ale, a little Gatorade, a little green tea, ginseng, and honey from Arizona. And within an hour, if you don't have to take a nap, you'll go to the bathroom, whatever, and it'll just leave you.
Right. I'm right. I'm going to do that all. The Alka-Seltzer in the ginger ale seems crazy, but I'm going to try it. But you had to take on LeBron.
So, yeah, this is from a neutral basketball observer because I'm a Nets fan, but I don't root against the Knicks.
Right.
That being said, you have to understand
either.
what you have to, obviously, because who would want to? There's no karmic balance of you getting any benefit from a team that stinks. We're just trying to latch on.
It's just the natural border rivalry, essentially.
Exactly. We're fighting to establish a name. You guys are as old as the city is in terms of its history.
Right.
But so when it comes to LeBron, you have to understand, this is he signed for 2 years, so he understands this can't be his last year if things don't go well, because he is the third option maybe on a team that has Maxey, a ball dominant player, Embiid, a ball dominant player, and Jaylen Brown, a ball dominant player. He's a facilitator that's going to be the ancillary aspect to what they do to complete the piece. Besides the fact they need to build a bench with very limited funds because they have free max players, basically. So this is going to be so the Knicks are beyond the favorite to beat them in a series, but even more so, LeBron's looking at this as a more with the options of maybe once they get the pieces together to really balance out and be complete as a team, because the Knicks are going from the hunters to the hunted.
100%. Well, I think this. I also think that built for this. Yeah, they're built for this, and I think it's a great point. But I also think the Knicks are almost getting a slide now, where the Knicks again. I'm not saying like truthfully the Knicks are the hunted. Obviously, they just won, but you already have the sports books and the national media spinning this as the Sixers, not just as the favorites over the Knicks, but maybe in the NBA, which is ridiculous. But and it's a great call, Moose. I appreciate your science, tips to curing, a day after drinking, and that perfect green tea we all call Arizona, and it's ginseng. But Moose has a point. When you look at their roster, the Sixers, I don't think their bench is great. They do have more of a bench than it's been let on. Anthony Simons is a good, cheap signing. The guy could score. Dean Wade, a guy that was supposed to stop Brunson. He's their best on-ball defender for sure. But he's an old, 30-year-old player who kind of has really broken out the last 2 years. Not that he hasn't been like decent, but he's really broken out the last couple of years. They bring in Hawk Purdy and they draft Philon Jr., who I loved in the draft, but and I'm saying this as a guy who, as a college basketball fan, sometimes it's tough to determine who's going to be a great NBA player or not, but I like him as a move too. But they're asking for Anthony Simons to be a more efficient player than he has in the past. He could score. He can't play like a defense, but he could score. They're asking for Hawk Purdy to take a leap. They're asking for younger players to take leaps. Then they're also asking for LeBron James, like Moose said, to just be a facilitator. And what we saw last year with the Lakers, they were at their best when LeBron was taking like 10 to 12 shots. And I don't know if LeBron is going to slide into that role just simply. And the other thing is, too, you're asking for ball-dominant players. I do think Maxey and Brown can play off of a pass, meaning like catch and shoot, catch and dribble, or catch and drive, however you want to, really break it down. But Embiid is not that player. Embiid is not also athletic enough right now to run the pick and roll against teams that do have athleticism. We're going to look at the Knicks and say, oh, Mitchell Robinson's not there. Embiid is going to flourish, but Andre Drummond is a more athletic, moving player than Embiid is. And so is Cat. But it doesn't mean the Sixers aren't immensely upgraded either. We'll get into more of that. We'll talk about the Yankees, the injury to Cody Bellinger. We'll continue that conversation as I started the show telling you the Yankees need to make a move right now. We'll get more into that conversation. We'll continue the next conversation. The Mets debacle. Pat Leonard joins us in an hour to talk some Giants as well as training camp is kicking off. 888-808-1019. Anthony Gallo on the Fan.
The road to kickoff 2026 starts now. From off-season moves to position battles and the biggest storylines surrounding the Giants and Jets, WFAN is getting you ready for football season. Expert analysis, breaking news, insider insight. Football lives here. WFAN.
Hi, this is New Jersey Attorney General Jen Davenport. Thinking about speeding? Think again. Don't let speeding be the reason that you or someone else doesn't make it home. Slow down and drive safely, New Jersey.
Summer's heating up and pest season is officially here. Mosquitoes, ticks, ants, and wildlife are becoming more active across the greater New York area as summer temperatures rise. Enjoy your summer, not the pests. JP McHale Pest Management helps protect your home, family, pets, employees, and customers all summer long. With local offices around the tri-state area, their local experts are ready with seasonal residential savings and free commercial inspections. Visit nopests.com. That's NOPESTS.com. JP McHale Pest Management, not just good good guaranteed.
At Bank of America, we support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge. What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Orgavatta-zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Town Fair Tire has the area's largest selection of Bridgestone tires. So we buy Bridgestone tires for less and sell them for less. The guaranteed lowest price you'll find anywhere. Plus, we give you more free services for life than any other tire dealer. So when you're looking for Bridgestone tires, there's only one place to go. Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. And I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
John Montone. Right now at Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, we have a full lineup of new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokees.
Todd, I'm digging the refreshed look, new tech features, and that powerful new engine.
And during the Make This a Summer event happening at Ramsey, let your summer thrills begin with a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Altitude 4x4. Leased for $379 a month for 36 months.
Or drive off in a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited 4x4. Lease for just $399 a month for 36 months.
Both offers with just $48.88 due at signing and 0% APR financing for 36 months.
So head to Ramsey and make this the summer before these deals fall away. Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Exceptional people, exceptional deals.
Call 833-853-2969 for details. Tax, title, registration extra. $0 security deposit. VIN number TC258760 and T8564639. 0% APR at $27.78 per month for $1,000 finance. Ends 8/3/26.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Talk sports with Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle on The Carton Show. Afternoons from 2 to 7 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Oh, yes, sir. It's your boy, Anthony Gallo, on the fan. 888-808-1019. Talking Knicks, Yankees. Pat Leonard joins us at 3 o'clock. We're going to talk some Giants. Some good news this week. More off-the-field BS, at Fanatics Fest with the Cam Scatterable flip. And, training camp is here. And football is so close. I mean, college football is only like 3 weeks away. So we are, I may be wrong, 3 or 4 weeks away, but we are right around the corner. And it's crazy. I want to jump back into this Yankees conversation in a bit, but the MLB Hall of Fame inductions are today, and I get it. It's not a class that is like going to be world-renowned. It is guys that, me and Paulie grew up watching. Jeff Kent, many believe is the best second baseman, one of the best second basemen of all time. Andrew Jones, star defensive center fielder, and then Carlos Beltran, obviously, one of the better hitters, if not the best hitter in Mets history, but just no fanfare around it. And again, just baseball dropping the ball on what should be another big weekend for them. It just doesn't make sense. You couldn't give me Mets Braves this weekend and, center it as a Hall of Fame type weekend. Like, you couldn't give us any fanfare for it to the point that, I knew it was this weekend, but you forget I'm preparing for the show, and it's just crazy how little they grasp on trying to do anything. When they have a layup of a weekend, they can't do anything with it. It also should be in the offseason, if we're being honest, so they could, extend the fanfare around baseball the same way football does it and basketball does it. But no, baseball continues to drop the ball on everything.
Yeah, I had no idea until I saw the Mets in their black jerseys today. And I remembered that was the Beltran jersey, in theory, back in the day.
Is that just you putting two and two together, or is that how they did it today?
No, and then I went deep diving more, and they did that on purpose. But the only reason I even thought about it today was because I saw the Mets in the black jerseys.
Well, it's crazy because I knew it was this weekend. Obviously, yesterday I was kind of like just preoccupied at the party and all that stuff. But it's just it's just a bad job by them. And it's not like every Hall of Fame class is going to be the greatest player of all time, like a Jeter or a Pujols or, whoever you want to list to it. A lot of the Hall of Fame classes are like this, but it just feels like there's no effort in the way that they advertise anything in the game. They just can't market a single thing. Like, you come out of the All-Star break, the Mets are playing on Thursday night against the Phillies. I know the Mets are terrible. You have no fanfare pumping up the game to the point that if you don't root for one of these teams, you have no idea they're playing. Yankees Phillies tonight is a big game. There's nothing. It's so stupid. You could have even did Yankees Braves Sunday Night Baseball, and you get two good teams, two of the best franchises in the game's history. And, Andrew Jones played for both teams. You get, something, anything. Beltran played for the Yankees, but it's, small sample size. But you just get something, and they can't even do that. I don't know. I just feel like they drop the ball consistently. And speaking about dropping the ball, you want to talk about a radio transition. The Yankees cannot drop the ball right now with Cody Bellinger. The injury, I started the show and we found out 20 minutes in, right as we were going to that first break, Bellinger on the IL, Spencer Jones called up. So Bellinger 10 days on the IL and Spencer Jones gets called up. But my initial point, and it doesn't change, it just furthers it, that the Yankees can't wait around to make a move. The Yankees can't sit here twiddling their thumbs, hoping for something to fall in their lap offensively. They have to make a move now. Do not wait till August 3rd. Do not wait the 8 days, the 7 days, whatever it is, to make one of the last moves going into the deadline because you feel pressured. I thought I was going to sneeze, but we navigated it there.
Nobody better than
false
you.
alarm. I'm a pro. That's why I do this for a living.
Wouldn't you say, by the way, on the Bellinger injury, wouldn't you compare that to, like, hamstrings are notoriously tough to come back from. Juan Soto out of roughly a month to 6 weeks with a calf strain. I would think.
Well, I think the calf strain, they fear that it can affect the Achilles. Right. That's why it's always a longer.
I think a safe guesstimate would be you're not going to see Bellinger at least for 3-4 weeks.
I can't say that because if it's just a minor injury and they feel like they don't want to have him sitting on the bench for 3 days, you got to think about it in that aspect. If they feel like they're going to miss him, they can't play him for 3 to 4 games. You might as well just put him on the 10-day IL. To your point, though, we don't know if he's just going to, we've seen it at times with players where, all right, he's fine halfway through that IL stint. They're going to just call him up immediately. Let's say he is fine, but they don't want to call him up immediately to game action. You get the 10 days. Then what are you going to get, 4 to 5 games in the minors and then call him up? Like, I don't know. You might be right.
Right. I also think it's interesting that, how does this affect Cashman's plans going into the trade deadline? Like, do you now go after another outfielder instead of going maybe after a catcher? Do you maybe entertain, like, a Luis Robert from the Mets possibly? Like, is that something that Cashman would entertain now that you have an injury to your outfielder?
Well, I think that they have to stay the course because you would assume that Bellinger and hopefully Judge are coming back. The thing is, if they're gonna take a big swing, which I hope they do, but if they're gonna take or let me not even say big swing, if they're gonna make a trade that involves them giving up a Dominguez and or Spencer Jones, then you may have to bring in an outfielder. But if you're only getting rid of one of those guys, or maybe you trade a different prospect, then no, they don't, because you do have a little bit of depth at those positions. But all it does is further the point that they need to make a move offensively, because there's no excuse for them not to chase a World Series. Like, if Bellinger's back in a month, he's still back. If Judge is back in a month, he's still coming back, and you still hope after, a month of September to get ready, they're gearing to go for a World Series. And then if you're making a move, it's not for a rental. You shouldn't be making a move for a rental anyway, because there's not really a ton of bats that are impact bats outside of maybe a Luis Ariz, who I don't think is going to cost you a top prospect. It might cost you a middle of the road, like 7th, 8th, 9th guy in your system type move, but you're not giving up a Lombard. You're not giving up a Dominguez. You're not giving up a Spencer Jones for Luis Ariz. He is a rental, yes, but if you're going for one of these big pieces, they're going to be here for the foreseeable future. Let's say it's an established guy like Rafael Devers or an aging, star like a Manny Machado. Their contracts run through the next 3, 4, 5 years. If it's a C.J. Abrams or a Hunter Goodman, a younger, controllable player, they're here. They're not going anywhere. So these injuries should not affect you in that aspect. And the C.J. Abrams thing is a very small rumor right now because it doesn't feel like they're going to trade him. But the Yankees still have to make a move offensively. They have to bring in some bullpen pieces. I'm okay with their bullpen. I would like to see them add an arm because you can never have enough bullpen pieces. And they have enough starting pitching to survive even another injury that they don't have to go make a move for a starting pitcher. You need to add a bullpen arm, but first and foremost, you need to add an offensive piece, whether it's catcher, third base, shortstop. If now you want to pivot to an outfielder, sure, you have to make the move. You have to. There's no excuse to not make a move in that scenario. The Red Sox have made a move. And I know it's not going to flip the entire, somebody in the chat says you don't go aggressive a week before the deadline. That's stupid. You go aggressive. You go and get the piece. Like, and here we go. You want to go get Mason Miller without an offense. Okay, sure. Go get Mason Miller and every game be a one-run game. Having a great closer is not changing the Yankees, postseason odds. You have to score runs. I heard this conversation all week. I heard Evan make the point. I heard this conversation all week. What does Mason Miller do for you if your offense is not putting up runs? Let's go back. Let's go through it. I went through it before. The Yankees, outside of one win against the Rays before the All-Star break and a win against the Pirates on Monday, the Yankees have won most of their games scoring 2-3 runs. Yes, pitching wins championships. You still need to score runs. And I don't care who your closer is if you can't score runs. Mason Miller, the best closer on a team looking to sell. The Mets have a fantastic bullpen. They suck. Go and get a bat. You're going to hold up your trade deadline to go get a bat. That's your biggest need is not closer. You could argue with me on that. It's not your biggest need. Your catching position sucks. Your third baseman sucks. Your shortstop sucks. That's where you need to improve. Not at closer. Yes, you make a move on offense, then you go chase the closer. If you blow up your farm system to go get a closer and you don't improve your offense, what are you doing for yourself? Why? Because Mason Miller's young and you might have him next year? And then see how much the cycle is of closers. 1 year they're lights out, the next year they struggle. 1 year they're lights out, the next year they struggle. And then you guys, these same people who are telling you to wait for those moves are going to cry. They didn't do enough. They didn't go get a bat. All they did was get a closer. What do you need a closer? You'll flip like you always do. You have to go improve offensively. You can't just go out there and wait. What if you wait to get a closer and every single impact bat is gone? And I've theoretically said like a Luis Torrens type to go at catcher if they improve elsewhere. And then if you settle for Terrens and sure, you improve the back end of the bullpen, what does that do for you then? You're not scoring enough. You can't have 6 holes on offense and then your bullpen isn't bad, but you want to get better on the back end and not address your biggest needs. The Yankees bullpen is great. Yes, they don't have the lights-out closer that you think they need. But also in baseball, across the leagues, across the years, you've seen that it doesn't always matter who's finishing games. What did the Dodgers do last year to finish games? And I'm not saying this that negates what Mason Miller can do. He's lights out. It doesn't negate what Edwin Diaz coming back to the Dodgers does. But you have to score runs to be in that position. And right now, the Yankees aren't scoring enough. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. And now you have the injury to Bellinger, which I think this doesn't matter. Injured or not, they still need to make these moves. But you're going to give up your... And also, here's also the short-sightedness of trading for a closer and getting rid of your prospect capital to go chase a closer. You go and get a closer when the other pieces around your team are fine. I know Edwin Diaz, and I defended the trade, but Edwin Diaz has been lights out. He's been the best closer over a longer period of time. Mason Miller is the best closer now. But Edwin Diaz, when the Mets traded Jared Kelenic, it was like the end of the world. Baseball, the national audience, the Mets fan was losing their mind because they traded Kelenic for an aging Robinson Cano and Edwin Diaz. And it was like, how dare you do that? If the Yankees go out there and they trade a Lombard or a LeGrand or Spencer Jones or Dominguez or all of them to go get a Mason Miller, and you're going out there and you're adding a sub 250 hitter to improve your offense, you guys are going to lose your minds. You could say you're not now because you're going to get that shiny object you wanted. Oh, we got the shiny object. But then when it doesn't work out, you're not going to be happy and you're going to rip Cashman for it. Because all you guys care about is the big name. Oh, we got a big name closer. That's awesome. Star. We're the Yankees again. But did you actually improve your chances of winning a World Series? No. Now, could they go out and do both? Sure. But you need to go and get the bat now. Because there's more options in the back end, even in the bullpen in general. There's more options that are going to be there on August 3rd than there are bats that are going to be there. Shea Langoliers may not have been an option for the Yankees. I understand that. But him not being available due to injury is only going to add to the fact that you have less to negotiate against. So when you're going after a catcher, let's say, there's one less option out there. So you have less of a negotiation tactic. But it's also just another piece off the board. What if Devers gets moved to a team? What if Arise or Machado, or let's say in a crazy turn of events, C.J. Abrams gets traded? What if Hunter Goodman gets traded? I guarantee you if the Yankees go get Mason Miller and Hunter Goodman gets traded, the catcher for the Rockies, you guys are going to lose your minds and say, why did the Yankees go and get him? Right now, if all they did was add Mason Miller at the deadline, that, in my opinion, would be really short-sighted for the Yankees. And I understand he'll be here for years to come. That'd be really short-sighted for the Yankees, considering how many holes offensively they have. The hope is when Bellinger's healthy, when Judge is healthy, you added pieces that is going to make this offense as good as any offense in baseball. Your pitching staff is one of the 3 best pitching staffs in all of baseball. Your starting pitching is better than any other staff, in my opinion, in all of baseball. But then that bullpen is also one of the better bullpens in baseball. And sure, you could always get better there and you could always add arms. But wouldn't you rather invest that capital on a bat? And you cannot wait around. Just waiting for deadline day is stupid. If the pieces are there, you go and get them. It's as simple as that. And we also don't know if Mason Miller is truly available. We don't. The Padres are 3 games out of a wild card spot. Do we think they're blowing it up? That's the same thing for the Mike Machado point. I want to be, it's fair. But there's more options offensively right now than there will be in a week, 8 days for the Yankees to go get. But as those dwindle down, the bullpen options are going to be there. But we can't just assume that the Padres are going to blow it up. And trading Mason Miller, again, is something that would be viewed as blowing it up. Because if you're a Padres fan, don't you want to build around a Fernando Tatis and a Mason Miller type? You have your offensive star. You have your closer. You would try and get out of a guy. I know he's like the face of their franchise. He's been there the longest. You have a Manny Machado type that you couldn't necessarily trade, get out for money. I just think going after the closer is such a short-sighted move. And then if you don't do it, and maybe Yankee fans will be fine with it. That's sure. That's fine. But if you go out there and you get Mason Miller and the Yankees don't improve offensively, I guarantee you on August 4th, Yankee fans will lose their mind. 888-808-1019. We'll come back. We'll get into your calls. We'll continue the Yankees conversation. Juan Soto out for the Mets for at least a month, if not more. Is it time to just pull the ripcord and start tearing it down? Do they need to wait? Should they wait till August 3rd to start trading people? They are a seller. Do sellers need to wait till August 3rd? Think about that. We'll get into the Knicks conversation. We'll also talk to Pat Leonard at 3 o'clock to go over the Giants' start to training camp. Anthony Gallo, back after this.
Sunday Night Baseball is on WFAN. The Yankees and Phillies play ball. 7:20 tonight. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan, AM 660, 1019 FM, and available en Espanol on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible, but Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours.
Real customers compensated. JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber. Living in the city that never sleeps, you need a powerful home connection that keeps pace with your midnight grind. Keep your connection as legendary as the city itself. If you're a Verizon mobile customer, switch to Fios Home Internet and get reliable 100% fiber optic speed for just $20 a month. It's high-speed fiber dependability for less than a week of subway rides. Visit Verizon.com and switch today. Availability varies for Fios customers with AutoPay, Mobile Plus Home, and bonus discount. Enrollment required. One offer per eligible account. Additional terms apply. Limited time offer.
Oh, hey, how was your vacation on MSC Cruises?
It wasn't just a vacation. It was a...
holiday. What's the difference?
It's a... holiday. Because there's European style and American comfort.
Does that happen every time you say that?
I don't know. But on... holiday. There's fresh made pasta, and you can cheer on your favorite team at the sports bar.
No, I want to go on.
For a limited time, get up to 30% off cruises, plus get up to $500 onboard credit and kids sail free. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
At NYU Langone Health, we know there really is no place like home. That's why we get our surgery patients home faster and have fewer readmissions than any other health system. That means once you're home, you won't need to go back for the same procedure. Instead, you can get back to the things you love. And the next time you need something else, we're here. Better health starts with a better health system. Learn more at nyulangonehealth.org.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
BetMGM Sportsbook is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Log in every day for your chance to win. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your swing. If you get a hit, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet. Just log into your BetMGM Sportsbook account and visit your promotions section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Swing for the fences every day with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets expire in 7 days.
The conversation never stops on The Carton Show. Join Craig Carton and Chris McMonagle weekdays from 2 to 7. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
Oh, that's right. Anthony Gallo on the fan, 888-808-1019 is the number to get involved on the conversation as always. I want to get back into the Yankee conversation in a second, but with the Tony Romo news, him getting in trouble, the DUI or the DWI, whatever it was, Romo is fine, whatever. I know he's kind of grown tiresome to some people on the broadcast, but earlier today, my buddy sends me a clip, and it just how great, not that the NFL broadcasts are bad, but how excellent those Madden broadcasts were. And it's Madden breaking down the game, just clips of him breaking down the game. He had a way. Like, Romo could predict something, but there was never an explanation about where his brain is coming from. Madden we would laugh at it because it would be so simple, but he did such a great job of breaking the game down, the X's and O's, in a way that the casual fan, the fan just tuning in for the first time, would understand the game immensely. And like in the clip that I saw, he was breaking down the A, the B, the C gaps. He was breaking down when the guard pulls, and it was like it was a Ricky Williams game with the Dolphins. And the first play of the game, he's like, oh, this is what Ricky sees, blah, blah, blah. And he's showing the gaps. Then later in the game, everything he just laid out happened. And he, does the Madden laugh. And it was just the way that he went about breaking down the game of football, which I don't know if any of you have had, and I'm not talking about a kid, but breaking down the game to like an adult that has never watched the game before, how confusing it can be. The strategy, the rules, all of that. And he had such a graceful way of predicting what was about to happen, but also breaking it down so you understood what he was thinking, what the players were thinking, what the coaches were thinking. And this is not a shot at Romo. It was just a thought I had earlier today. Obviously, he's in the news for something negative, and you just this guy was like, oh, he's gonna break it up, he's gonna predict it here, blah blah. Or I've heard players complain that he'd be like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta cover that gap or whatever. And then the players would say sometimes they get annoyed because you don't know what the scheme was. But in Madden's case, it was always a teaching lesson. he was funny. He was humorous, whether it was the turducken stuff or just like the way he would draw on the telestrator. But he had a way of breaking the game down that was so simple to understand that I think the NFL broadcast misses right now. I think Olsen at times does this. I just, and this is not like, again, I don't have a real complaint about Romo. I don't really have a complaint about any of these guys. The older I get, the broadcasts are more ancillary. My local broadcasts I care more about. Gary Keith Ron, Clyde, and Breen, or whoever's filling in for Breen that day. Whether it's the Rangers broadcast or the Yankees, I care more about those than the national broadcast. But it was just funny because this clip popped up, and I was like, Romo, he's always predicting stuff. But it was cool to see this throwback to my childhood, but just the way Madden would simplify everything to make the game more digestible for the casual fan, even yourself, where you'd be like, wow, I didn't understand that. Or I didn't see that coming, and now you understand. Like, it was a simple counter play. And he's like, he's going to make it seem like he's going to the opposite C gap, but he's going to cut back and go to the right, the right side of the center, and he's going to hit the A gap. And it was just, watching that was, one, a nice nostalgia trip, but two, I think it's something that maybe all broadcasts are missing. You got a little bit more of that this year with the NBC, the NBA move to the NBC broadcast. You got a little bit of that throwback, also that nostalgia feel, but it felt like more of an X's and O's conversation. You felt like you got more of that from the inside the NBA guys with their move to ESPN and, all the complaints that they're just too humorous at times and they kill the game too much and they weren't giving you enough X's and O's. I felt like that was a step in the right direction there. So it just was a nice throwback, and seeing that clip, from Monday Night Football was awesome. And just the way that he broke it down so elegantly. 888-808-1019. Talking about the Yankees, talking about the deadline, and this notion, too. Now I'm seeing, I have people tweet at me, hitting us up on the YouTube chat. Yankees can't make a move now because what if Mason Miller's available on the 3rd and you have to go get him? But what if he's not? And you don't make a move now and you're waiting for that golden goose, who I don't think is the golden goose you think it is, and he's not there. And then what are you doing? You're getting the Ahmed Rosario types. You're going after middle relievers that you would have gone after anyway. It's a failing strategy. And then it doesn't matter. If they get Mason Miller and they struggle, Yankee fans all want Mason Miller, and then they'll kill him for not getting a bat. But if you have a chance to go get the bat you need now, go get him. Don't wait because you may project that someone might be available or this prospect might be the prospect that's going to get you that guy. It's a losing strategy. And I ultimately believe that on August 4th or, after 6 p.m. on August 3rd, we'll sit here and we'll all be, listening to fans cry about Brian Cashman not doing enough, whether he gets a bat or he only gets a bullpen arm, he only does that. If the Yankees are going to have the success I think they can have, it starts and ends with them addressing the offense. They have one of the best bullpens in baseball. They have one of the best starting rotations in all of baseball. Go out there and get the bat you need. Worry about the bullpen. Again, if a bullpen arm presents itself and you're not swinging for the fence, you're not like when I mean swinging for the fences, you're not giving up all of your prospects and you're not depleting the farm system to go get that guy. Again, I don't think the Mets and the Yankees are making a move. Let's say Luke Weaver's available and you don't have to give up one of your top guys and you could get him for like your 8th or 9th best prospect and some other prospects mixed in, maybe some cash. You go get him. Fine. But then you just gotten a really good reliever familiar with the city. And I'm just using him as a baseline because I know he's near and dear to my heart as a Mets fan that he's available probably. Then you address the offense. But you have to address the offense. And you can't hold on the pieces because you think somebody might be available on Monday that's not available today. What if they're not available and now you're waiting for that shoe to drop? I don't think that's how baseball front offices operate to begin with. It's a closer. It's not, Shohei Ohtani or Juan Soto or Ronald Acuna Jr. It's not this game-changing everyday player. And I don't know. I think it's more likely Manny Machado gets moved than Mason Miller gets moved. And in the Mason Miller move may mean that you have to bring in a Xander Bogaerts, which at that point, you're just going to eat a contract. You might as well have gone and swung for the fences and got a Rafael Devers, which actually addresses a need. and you're not just giving up a ton of prospects to get a closer and then have a guy that's eating away at your salary. I don't think the Machado, Mason Miller stuff, I don't think they're going to look to pack. Manny Machado is a future Hall of Famer who, is having his struggles, but I don't expect him to be this type of player for the rest of his career. Xander Bogaerts had a couple of good years and has basically struggled his entire time in San Diego, the 3 years or so that he's been there. 888-808-1019. Bobby in Belmore, what's going on, Bobby?
Hi, grapefruit juice with any alcohol beverage, a couple of extra Tylenol if you're feeling it before you go to bed. You'll feel fine in the morning.
Yeah, I don't have a headache. My issue is not I'm in pain. My issue is, the stomach's, I got a little bit of the bubble guts, and it's definitely because of what I drank yesterday.
Well, it's good for the stomach, too. I mean, grapefruit juice is just good for everything. Alcohol.
I mean, the Tylenol, though, is, I guess, what I was responding to.
Yeah. Anyway, before I get to Knicks, please don't cut me off. I want to talk about the Knicks and the Philly matchup. It doesn't matter with the Yankees. Judge gets back even by the beginning of October. It's like 2024. He didn't do nothing during the playoffs, and he got to the series. So let's get in shape during the playoffs. Yeah, and and hopefully he'll be close to what he was by the World Series. I think the Yankees are going to be fine. As far as getting to the series. But anyway, let me get to the Knicks.
Right.
I'm in no position to tell the coach what to do for Philly because he's a hell of a coach. What he did with Philly last year against Boston. Coming back from 3-1 and winning 2 road games. That was a hell of a job.
Yeah.
But this is what I would do. You forgot one player Philly does have that they got in the free agent. That's a Wade. So this is what you could do. LeBron has covered Towns good in the past. So you put him as center, okay? And if Harden's burying a bead during the playoffs, then you could put in Wade and sit and beat on, on the bench because, Hurst is...
Yeah, but then what does that do for them? Dean Wade did nothing against the Knicks when he played them. And you're going to have him cover a big? Who, again, this doesn't really address
LeBron will cover the big.
But so you want a 41-year-old LeBron James who has not... I know in the past... Yeah, I understand that. But you're talking about in the past, like 4 or 5 years ago, he was okay. He did not have a ton of success. He wasn't covering Cat when they played the Lakers this year. That wasn't the way that they ran their defensive front. So they just assume he's going to negate Karl-Anthony Towns. Victor Wembanyama couldn't negate Karl-Anthony Towns. And I'm not also overlooking the Sixers. They are way better than they were last year. Brown, James, Dean Wade, Anthony Simons, they've upgraded immensely. But what I'm saying is it's not a guarantee that this is just going to work out. And also the way they match up with the Knicks, it's not much different than the way they match up with the Knicks last year.
Yeah, well, I think, Detroit, the team I'm shocked at is Detroit. That they didn't do anything.
Wow, this is a team. Bobby, you're so right about that. They look like they may be a play-in team next year the way the Eastern Conference has moved.
Yeah, I mean, they're the team that would have gave the Knicks the most difficulty because of their defense. They have a hell of a defensive team. They just have a problem shooting. And Durant was like half. He wasn't even an all-star. He was like a scrub player. So, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't go after Brown or go after any of these big free agents. Because they need help. With Cunningham needs help, and you give them another shooter. I think that they could be right up another, all-star next to him. They would have been right there with the Knicks, but they didn't do anything.
And I thought they needed a lot of work. I appreciate the call, Bobby. It's a great point. I mean, if you're a Pistons fan right now, you got to be pulling your hair out. The Raptors it doesn't matter where the Raptors sit as far as NBA contenders, but the Raptors got better. The Sixers got better. The Celtics, in my opinion, are still better than the Pistons with the move they made. The Magic, you assume, will continue to grow. The Miami Heat got better. And the Pistons, they struggled to keep their center, who's a very flawed player, who held them back in the postseason. That is, I mean, it's crazy. And I also thought a lot of us did not buy into the Pistons hype. They were one Tobias Harris career game in a Game 7 from getting eliminated in the first round. And that toughness is only going to get you so far because everyone's tough come the playoff time. Everyone steps up their physicality come playoff time. D-Rod in Orlando. What's going on, D-Rod?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? Pal? How are you?
I'm exhausted. How you feeling?
I mean, I'm exhausted, but I'm good. I'm great.
All right. Well, listen, usually when people ask me, I say I'm happy. I'm alive because I'm happy, and that's usually the best thing to say when, and I would say try some probiotics for your bubble guts because I do that after a night of drinking.
That's probably the best advice anyone's given me.
Yeah. Go for it. I think that'll. The only thing is that the way it helps you is that you got to be, in a certain room.
I understand. No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Not that it's the same thing, but I started drinking those. Like, what are they, Ollie-Pops, like those sodas? And I could tell it's helping my digestive tract to not really give you a gruesome picture, I'll just put it that way, because they have a lot of probiotics in them.
Yeah, they do. And they have a lot of fiber, so that'll get you going. And but literally get you going both ways, like your feet and your guts. Okay. Let's talk about the Yankees trade thing, because I'm hearing what you're saying, and what you're saying makes it's fine. It makes sense, like if you're just focusing on the field. But if you look off the field, there are, there's a whole bunch of teams that are kind of a few games in the race. They're like two games out of the wild card, and I'm sure Cashman called them and say, "Listen, I like your bat," and then they're going to say, "Well, listen, we're a game out. If I give you my big bat, I'm going to get my fan base is going to kill me. Right. So what can I do, right? So listen." Let's wait more week. After this week, if I go 2-5, let's talk about that bat. If I go 5-2, I'm going to keep my bat. Well, what can I do? That's what because if they go 5-2,
100%. We don't know.
Be in the race,
there's teams in the race. 100%. Sure.
Yeah. And the other thing too is that if you, my point was if you trade for a bat right now, and then Mason Miller, just to use him as an example, if he's available, and I get your point that the Yankees need more offense than Mason Miller and the catcher probably as well. So, but the thing is that what if you get a bat today, and those prospects you use for that bat today, tomorrow there's a better bat. To your point.
Yeah, but my point is though, you're addressing the needs you have. Like if you wait to go and just get somebody that you think might be available, and they're not available, and then more pieces come off the board. Because right now, there are a few teams that are out of it. Like, we know the 3 teams in the NL, and I think the Reds are going to start selling guys off. They're 6 games back. It's a little different than being 3 games back. In the AL, the Angels are out of it. The Royals are out of it. The Athletics are out of it. The Athletics,
the Giants are the big ones. Everyone's talking about a rise, and
that's
and
my
all
point.
Devers maybe, right?
And I'm not saying they can't do both. And great call. Like I appreciate it, and I appreciate you calling in. I'm assuming you're D-Rod from YouTube, so I appreciate you calling in. I'm not saying don't go after Mason Miller. What I'm saying is you cannot just go and get Mason Miller. Let's say they do wait till August 3rd, and their whole point is to go get this grand closer, but you don't address the offense. You're in trouble. And the Yankees they're good enough to win a division right now, sure. They're good enough to get that 1 seed in the AL because it's so weak. But when you get to postseason time, you have a margin for error that is razor tight, razor thin. You want to get to the World Series. That's the goal. And you're not getting there if Judge is not healthy and he comes back late in September, and we can't guarantee that he's going to be in the full swing of things come postseason time. You assume Bellinger's coming back, but let's say both of them are healthy. You still have a flawed offense. You still have an offense that's trotting out there Trent Grisham. And I like Trent Grisham, but he can't be your leadoff hitter. Then you're trotting out shortstop is a black hole offensively. Third base, offensively, black hole. Catcher, black hole offensively. That's not good. So you have to go and get a bat. But now let's say they do go get a bat. They go get it a rise, and you sacrifice a little bit defensively to go get it a rise, to bring in that bat, a guy who's different than the other bats you have. Then you could start looking at making a big swing at closer. Maybe you go out and you do get a Devers. And I don't know if Devers is going to cost you your top 3 prospects. So that still leaves the door open to go make a swing like a Mason Miller. But you cannot hold on to these pieces hoping, dreaming of this piece that may exist out there. 888-808-1019. Is outfield now a position the Yankees should be searching for? Is that something that they should be keying in on? Or do you stick to the glaring weaknesses, which are catcher, third base, and shortstop? We'll get into that. We'll continue the next conversation. Pat Leonard joins us in 20 minutes at 3 o'clock to talk Giants. 888-808-1019. Back after this.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 101.9 FM.
John Harbaugh comes in to be the savior, and he wants to restore the pride that the Giants should have when you put on that uniform because it was lost. It was. And when he's saying those things about it's the New York Giants, he's trying to get through these younger kids that maybe don't know the history of the Giants.
Get Boomer and Gio on demand. Available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and the free Odyssey app.
Your sales team has the talent. They've got the tools. They don't have time to close the deals you need to win unless they have sales with AI. SAILES.com. Sales.com.
If you're tired of dealing with dummies every time you shop for a car, I get it. All the games they play, the back and forth, it's brutal. Well, the team over at Route 22 Toyota seem to have it figured out. They're real people who have made the entire process of buying a car simple and that smart. Plus, they're easy to get to, right on Route 22 in Hillside, New Jersey, and they're always on the money with incredible deals on their huge selection of new and used Toyota. So remember, if you're tired of dealing with dummies, get over to Route 22 Toyota and experience the smart way to buy your next vehicle.
Hey Yankees fans, head out to Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 22nd for a very special giveaway. It's Hello Kitty Yankees Bobblehead Day. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will receive a Hello Kitty Yankees bobblehead. Don't miss the Yankees taking on their division rivals, the Blue Jays, Saturday, August 22nd at Yankee Stadium for Hello Kitty Yankees Bobblehead Day. Get your tickets now at yankees.com/tickets.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. You know, in the game, you always need a backup plan, and your phone is no different. A second line from Red Pocket Mobile is perfect for side gigs, keeping your work and personal numbers separate, and just staying connected without the big carrier price tag. Starting at just $10 a month, you get your choice of 3 major 5G networks with no contracts or credit checks. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Hey, it's Greg Giannotti from Boomer and Gio here for North Shore Adult Diapers. In all seriousness, everyone knows someone worrying about control problems, especially at night. And for many, the store brands don't get the job done. They leak. It's time to try North Shore at northshore.com. Their team of experts will send out samples that stay dry 3 times longer than store brands. Switch to North Shore, the MVP of adult diapers, so your loved ones can live with the freedom and dignity they deserve. That's North Shore Adult Diapers at northshore.com and focus on life, not leaks.
Most of us don't think about our health until something feels wrong, but by then, you've already lost something you can never get back. Time. That's one of the reasons I trust Princeton Longevity Center and why I'm most looking forward to my next exam. Knowing what's happening inside my body before symptoms appear gives me confidence, not uncertainty. They combine advanced imaging, comprehensive testing, and physician expertise to give you a clearer picture of your health today and what could be ahead. And what I appreciate most is that they don't just hand you a report and send you on your way. Their physicians walk you through the results, explain what matters, answer your questions, and help you understand what steps you can take next. Every visit leaves me feeling more informed and more in control of my health. If you've been putting your health off, now's the time. Call 888-8000-PLC. Again, 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
The New York Giants are getting ready for a new season. What are your expectations for Big Blue? Join the conversation at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
That's right. Anthony Gallo on the fan. 888-808-1019. Pat Leonard coming up in about 10 minutes. We'll get into the Giants conversation. I think it's good news that you see the Malik Neighbors stuff. The Giants have had a lot of off-field stuff that, yes, you can't quantify what that impact on them is actually going to be. I think the Scatterboo thing is wild, the way that takes place. But there is a level of optimism that training camp just naturally brings. I think spring training and training camp in their respective sports bring the most optimism. One, baseball is just romanticized. Spring training is that feel of opening day's right around the corner and anything can happen. We've seen crazier teams, crazier things happen where they can't, write anyone off. And then in football, we've seen how many times have we seen first to worst? And in the Met game, the first place umpire just took a shot off his shin. Mets bailed out there. That would have been a double. It went right to the right fielder. Oh, this guy, that's a rough one. Oh, right off the knee. Yikes. Tough. He's in there. He's limping it off. He's rubbing some dirt on it. That's a big one. Or did he call that foul? No, fair ball. He's wincing right now, but Mets get bailed out there. But training camp brings this optimism that, we've seen so many teams go worst to first and vice versa in the NFL. And the Giants have that natural optimism. But then you get the news that Malik Neighbors isn't going to be on the PUP list. And I know you get the stuff with the John Harbaugh speech and whether it was earlier in the season, the nonsense with Jackson Dart, and he's at every event. The stuff with him and Carter, Scatterboo, every time you see Scatterboo, he's doing something stupid. Malik Neighbors during the draft. None of it was actual football. And now we're getting to the actual football. And it's just funny to see that and the Harbaugh clip. And listen, I didn't think it was great, but I didn't think it was an indication this guy is somehow lost. The Harbaughs, his brother, Jim and John, have both been quoted as being cornballs. They're corny. They're like, go get them. Go do it. That's their thing. They're also immensely talented coaches. And you finally get the aspect of, all right, we're going to get some positive news that they're going to play football finally. They're going to start Wednesday's the first practice. Malik Neighbors right now is not on the physically unable to perform list. That's what the PUP list is. There is just positives. For once, we get past the nonsense and we can actually get into the football. So we'll talk to Pat about that at 3 o'clock. Which we don't get a lot of these moments over the last decade with New York football where we do have the positives. One of them is training camp. The Jets, I thought the Jets had a pretty positive offseason until all the Geno Smith nonsense, but we finally get past that and we get to the actual football. And I'm pretty sure the guys are going to be out at Jets camp, at least the Carton Show is, sometime in August. And I don't know what the Giants, what that is. I know they're in West Virginia and only here for a couple of days. I don't know what's planned for that, but I'm assuming the other one will happen. I'm also, could be wrong, but exciting time. And not as somebody who's not a fan of either of these teams, and I watch them. I root for them because it's a lot more fun. It's one thing to talk negatively about your own teams, which is it sucks. Like talk about the Mets when they stink or the Rangers when they stink. It's not fun. But it's a lot better to talk about football when everyone is excited and it's not what are we going to do next year or who's going to get fired. So I am hoping for, improvements on both teams. I think the Giants can compete for a playoff spot. I think the Jets should take a positive step forward, can win 7-8 games, maybe 6, but even just have that step forward where you start to see something get built. You start to see the systems and the culture build with the Jets. And for the Giants, you start to see the culture shift and competitiveness. The Giants have talent. I think that's the difference between the Jets and the Giants is the Jets don't have the level of talent the Giants do. They have a lot of young talent, and I think they're going to grow eventually. But the Giants have talent to compete right now. They have the pass rush. They have a weapon at wide out. They have a quarterback that a lot of you, I think, is overrated. But I'm not saying that as a negative to say that he's not good. I think that Giant fans have anointed him after 6 games, and he hasn't stayed healthy. And I think that is where the overrating part is. I think he's a very good player. I think we still need to see a lot more from him. But you have the quarterback. I think you can't argue that, though. Even if I think the level to which they have it, they have the quarterback. They have the running back. They have running backs, Tyrone Tracy, whatever it is. They have a wide receiver. They added a tight end. They improved the offensive line. I thought the draft they did well. And they still have your question marks about the secondary, but they have young pieces there. They have a great pass rush. They have the head coach. There is those steps forward where you can see them compete. I think the Eagles have taken a step back. I think the Cowboys have taken a step back. I think the Commanders have taken a step forward, but they weren't a playoff team last year. So there is all these things, trending in the right direction for the Giants as we lead in that training camp. After all the noise and nonsense of the offseason, we finally are here. Wednesday, it starts, and we get excited. Football's around the corner. Pat Leonard joins us after the break. We'll get into that. We got a conversation. We'll talk neighbors. We'll talk Scatable, Harbaugh, training camp. NFL is back. Let's get into it. Anthony Gallo, 888-808-1019. Like I said, Pat Leonard coming up after the break.
Sunday Night Baseball is on WFAN. The Yankees and Phillies play ball. 7:20 tonight. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan, AM 660, 1019 FM, and available en Espanol on the free Odyssey app.
If you're a small business owner, choosing the right wireless provider can make a huge difference. Trust me on this. That's why I've always and only partnered with Verizon Business. Their My Biz plan makes it easy to build a wireless plan that fits the exact way you work. Period. Stop. Get the flexibility and reliability your business deserves, including built-in security or international calling. Connect with a Verizon Business rep today at verizon.com/bizfans and get started right away.
For 100 years, London Jewelers has been part of life's most meaningful moments, from engagements and anniversaries to milestones, big and small. We've helped mark the moments that matter the most to our customers. Generations of families have trusted London Jewelers for exceptional craftsmanship, timeless design, and service that lasts a lifetime. As we celebrate a century of excellence, we thank you for being part of our story, and we look forward to the moments still to come. We invite you to visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations. London Jewelers, celebrating 100 years of brilliance.
Life can change suddenly without any warning whatsoever. When you're sidelined due to a debilitating personal injury, it's crucial to have a trusted team on your side. The Rothenberg Law Firm has over 50 years of spectacular courtroom experience, ensuring that you're not facing those obstacles alone. Winning and collecting billions for our clients, we are committed to helping you recover whatever you deserve. The Rothenberg Law Firm, 1-800-624-8888.
Be a lawyer for injured ones. InjuryLawyer.com.
It's been over 7 years since Pastor Billy Richards was treated successfully for prostate cancer by Perlmutter Cancer Center, the world's #1 cyberknife program. After 5 treatments in 1 week, Pastor Billy went right back to leading his Brooklyn congregation.
Cyberknife was truly a blessing for me, my family, and my ministry. If you have prostate cancer, I urge you to look into Cyberknife.
For an appointment, call NYU Langone's Perlmutter Cancer Center at 833-1-CYBER. That's 833-ONECYBR.
Where the West Village, Tribeca, and Soho meet, Hudson Square has been reimagined as one of the city's most compelling creative hubs. For over a decade, Hudson Square Properties has brought together the world's leading technology, media, and fashion companies across a 13-building office and retail portfolio. They offer full floors to entire buildings, from pre-built to raw space, with the flexibility to scale without ever leaving the neighborhood. And Hudson Square was just declared the newest dining destination by the New York Post. Hudson Square Properties, where great stories start.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Hi, this is New Jersey Attorney General Jen Davenport. Seatbelts are your best defense against being injured in a crash, so buckle up every time you get in a vehicle. 95% of New Jerseyans wear their seatbelts. Come on, Jersey, let's make it 100%.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tune into Odyssey Mets Radio on 880 AM. Brought to you by the #1 Westbury Toyota construction sale.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Talk sports after hours with Tommy Lugauer, 7 to midnight. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Oh, that's right. We are back. And listen, baseball's going on. The NBA season just ended. But coming up this week, we have NFL training camp. And I know it's just practice, but it's exciting. It gets me excited. And joining us right now from the Daily News, the Giants beat reporter, Pat Leonard, host of Talking Ball with Pat Leonard. You can find that on YouTube as well. Pat, my man, it's an exciting time. We're back, finally. No more off-season nonsense. We're finally in the thick of things.
Anthony, what's up, man? Thanks for having me. Yeah, no, the West Virginia trip is on deck. Headed down there on Tuesday, and it'll be interesting to see the team hunker down and kind of try to, unify and become one under John Harbaugh, away from the noise of New York City before they have to actually play the real games.
Right, and I want to get into the actual football, but I do want to get into a little bit of that noise. First, because I saw you comment on this the other day. First, the video, it wasn't the greatest sounding video because we're sitting here from the outside looking in. But you mentioned how he is trying to bring back that importance to the New York Giants, whether it's the fans, the players, people within the organization. I was one of these people who thought it came off looking bad. And then, after you wrote that, I kind of sat here and I was like, all right, maybe you're onto something here. But how was it received? Did we really just overreact? And that was a 30-second clip that no one even really thought twice about. How was that initial meeting in the building?
I think, a lot of times people want something to be black and white. I think in this case, both things are true from what I understand and from what I see and from what I've talked to people in the league about, is that, yes, it was an awkward moment. It could have been delivered a little better. It did feel like crickets hitting, and that if Harbaugh could have his way, he would do it over. Not to mention, the Giants probably could have found a different clip to post out. The fact that they didn't recognize that it might sound awkward and not the best, and they posted it as if it was a good speech, is concerning. That said, Harbaugh, his message not landing with the players in that moment, where no one really responds to him raising his voice that way, really does make the point Harbaugh's trying to get across. He's saying, you guys don't even really know what it is to be a Giant. Right. Being a Giant right now doesn't mean what it used to mean, but it's going to mean that under me and with the work that you guys are putting in. And so I think that it's going to resonate as he continues to stress that being a Giant means more than just here's who's signing your paychecks. There's a tradition to it. There's a history to it. And I think what he wants his players to understand is we're not dwelling on the past, but we want our future to look like the Giants' storied past, and that starts with the work in the present. I believe that is the message he was trying to get across there, even though it didn't totally resonate. Right.
And I know, and then we killed it, obviously. Not just us, but, everyone with the media killed it. And it is funny because that was one of my thoughts, too, was whoever decided to put this out, Harbaugh, whoever it was not seeing the bigger picture. The other thing was, obviously, we're coming off the Fanatics Fest, and it felt like the Giants went a month without anything happening where we talked about off-field stuff. And Scadaboo takes the terrible backflip, doesn't land it. And I thought Harbaugh, what did we expect him to do? Kill him in the media? I thought it was a funny response saying you got to land that. But how is all of this, and I'm not just singling out Scadaboo, how is all that noise coming into training camp? Are they just washing it all away, or has this been something that you felt around the team maybe more than just the noise?
No, I think Harbaugh is very good at not throwing people under the bus publicly. But let's face it, if you're a Giants fan and you're happy about this hire because you're tired of what they've been,
right?
You want Harbaugh behind the scenes to address stuff like this and say enough of this nonsense. You could say, hey, yeah, Cam Scadaboo, that's who he is, and he's got that energy, and we don't want to take that away from him. But the reality is, if Harbaugh's trying to win games, he's trying to keep his team healthy, and these types of actions don't only reflect that you might be putting your health in danger coming off a serious injury.
Right.
It also seems like somebody who's living by their own rules and not by their coach's rules. So this is not just noise. John Harbaugh's going to say behind the scenes something along the lines, and I'm sure he did already, something along the lines of, hey, man, I have your back, but let's just think a second the next time we think about doing something like that, because you're our guy. We need you to take 15 carries a week or whatever it is, and we need you on the field. But this is a recurring theme with Dart, with Scadaboo, this idea of kind of pushing back against the criticism of how much they put their bodies on the line.
Right.
It's good that they're confident, but John Harbaugh knows very well internally that confidence needs to be measured because they need both of those players. And so that's a very real thing, even though he's backing them publicly.
And you know, before we get into the I thought was great news for the Giants on the injury front, and Scadaboo is he projected to be ready at some point during training camp, or is that kind of a day-to-day thing where we see the timeline progress?
Yeah, well, Scadaboo is going to be on the field in some significant fashion because he was at the end of the spring. It was kind of like up and down as far as like seeing what he could handle and then backing him off. But Scadaboo's injury always has tracked as more likely to be ready early, and whether he's going full workload or he's having his reps managed, I would expect him to be out there on the field. And certainly, once he does that back flip, if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm like, you're practicing day one.
Yeah.
You like it.
Yes, 100%.
You know, but Neighbors is interesting because they don't place him on the PUP list. Obviously, encouraging that they don't think they need to shut him down for all of camp. But I would also say pump the brakes on thinking it means that he's healthy, okay, ready to go. Like, this is a guy whose body is still recovering, still rehabbing, and they have to build him up. There's so much difference between jogging on grass, then running on grass, then running a slant on air, then running that slant pattern, planting your foot in the ground while running right into Tremaine Edmonds at middle linebacker, right? So Malik Neighbors is not being on PUP. What that does is it gives the Giants flexibility to manage his day-to-day the way that his body responds and sees fit. So it's them not shutting him down right away and saying, hey, this guy's not going to be ready for the start of the season. They're keeping that window, that door of opportunity open. But it doesn't guarantee anything either. He still has a road to navigate to get back to playing full tilt. So I don't think you can sit here right now and say for sure when you know he's going to be ready yet. We need to see him on the field in West Virginia.
Okay, yeah. I still took it as even if he was to miss 1 or 2 weeks, it's not as lengthy of an absence going into the season. But that still good news. And then as far as this team going into camp, we talked about obviously all the offseason noise, and I thought it was a pretty positive offseason if you just take away Cam Scadaboo, Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter, all the stuff that went on there. This is now finally going to see, we're going to start to see the picture being painted. What is the feel just being around the team? You know, obviously all the nonsense with the social media clip from Harbaugh, but like, what is the feel being in the building right now, being around the team, obviously with the OTAs and everything, but now we're getting to camp, West Virginia, all of that?
Well, I think the most positive feeling that they have is that the physicality message that Harbaugh is preaching, the team thinks that they can deliver on that. So it starts with the offensive line showing progress last year under the previous staff, and then when you draft CeCe Maui-Noah and you plug him in at right guard with 4 returning starters, I believe that the team, the players, hear Harbaugh say, let's be physical, let's bully our opponents. That's something they can get behind. They feel like they've done at times already and that they can respond to. Now, you know, the health of their team, particularly with Neighbors, is going to dictate a lot on offense. And Dart also, you know, there's some evolution going on with a year 2 quarterback, with new coaches giving him new information and new advice in his ears. But the optimism is high. I think that the realism has hit, or is going to hit, I should say, as we get into early camp, that it's not just going to be a snap of the fingers, right? So when you and I say, hey, 4-13, we had all these leads, we scored all these points, and we just gave it away at the end. You can tell yourself that in the offseason that you were much closer than you were. But when you're actually on the field putting the work in, it's going to become clear to them just how much more work they need to put in to get to that 500 bubble or over. They added promising pieces. Isaiah Likely is exciting. Edmonds, a good leader on defense. The sneaky one, I would say that I don't have a handle on exactly how big of a deal it's going to be, is Dexter Lawrence requesting a trade out of town. That is going to be a major storyline of this season. Whether the Giants replace him adequately and improve their run defense despite his departure, that will be a huge story. And if they made all these other additions, but losing one of the better defensive players in the NFL, undercuts them early. I think both of those things are interesting to watch there because that was kind of like the really dark sliver of the offseason that you said was otherwise felt really promising. So that's something to keep an eye on there is what Dexter Lawrence not wanting to be in New York, right? That's a big deal that a player of that magnitude didn't want to play for the team anymore.
Right.
And also just how good of a player he is. But, I do think that the Giants players want to play the way that Harbaugh is asking them to play. So, optimism, and as long as they understand it's year one of a process and it's not all going to happen overnight, I think managing those expectations could yield some fruit this year.
Right, and if week one they struggle to stop, even if they play well, if they struggle to stop the run, I'm sure that'll come up very quickly. You mentioned Jackson Dart, and I think he's super talented. I do think there's been a bit of a jumping the gun by some to just immediately, not say that he's going to fail, but like immediately anoint him to be amazing right out the gate. How much growing pains, not just in a new system with Harbaugh, but how much of a growing pain do you see with him in year two as an NFL quarterback? Because he did not have a full year starting.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think that what I saw from the offense on the field in the spring is a lot of getting the ball out of his hands fast. There wasn't a lot of downfield elements to what I saw in the spring. I know they're installing things, so we did see some downfield as it progressed. And they're excited about guys like Malachi Fields, Calvin Austin, and OBJ coming back. But I believe that Dart having to adjust to being more of a pocket passer who runs rather than a runner who throws is not going to be easy for him. And as promising as some of his production was in those tight moments of managing games late as a rookie quarterback last year, he fell short because he wasn't able to do some of those things that we just talked about.
Right.
So that, it's listening to Brian Callahan, the quarterbacks coach, was instructive in the spring. It sounds like they're really trying to get through to Dart that he needs to play that way. And it sounds like Dart is listening, but also, like he was last year, is adamant that he doesn't take himself and his strengths out of his game either. So I think there's going to be some push and pull there, to be honest with you. And I don't know how it's going to go. The way I know Jackson from covering him for a year plus, I think he wants to bet on himself, right, what he is, what he knows has worked his whole life, and then the Giants will live and die with that. There's promise there, but you said one of the most important things right before asking the question is like you're opening with Dallas and the Rams in prime time back to back. I mean, there's not going to be any room here to learn on the, like the way he did as a rookie last year, where you only win 4 games, but people are like, okay, yeah, he only won 4 games, but there's promise. It's like they bake in some understanding there. But this year, you start 0-2 and don't produce in those 2 games, the noise is going to be deafening.
Right, and that's on the inverse. Obviously, I think people have jumped the gun and anointed him. That's also will be unfair to him, but it's the truth. The other thing I wanted to say, and I guess as more of a positive, even though Malik Neighbors may not be ready week 1, does it, and I'm just speaking from the outside looking in, does it benefit Jackson Dart that he's in camp, even if it's just not with pads on running routes with him, or am I looking too much into that?
No, you're right, because let's just put our cards on the table here. If Neighbors, say they can't play games with Malik, if they're playing games without Malik, I expect this offense to not score many points. If they play with Malik, it slots other people in appropriate areas. It shades coverages over his way. It just changes a lot of the way that you can navigate what plays you can call, how Jackson can read the field. It changes everything. So even if he's not full tilt or practicing at first, him being on the field and eventually working him into these schemes where you're testing the defense, whether it's your own defense or whether it's a joint practice with the Dolphins or those preseason games, if you're able to get him in those areas and in those situations, that can really unlock some confidence and promise in what this offense could be. Because really what I saw in the spring, if you boiled it down to a very brass tacks, I saw that the defense looks better, but the run defense is still a question. But what I saw on offense was nothing I liked. So I think Malik not being on it has a lot to do with that. And I think him being on the field has everything to do with changing that.
Right, and we didn't get to see that last year either. Even in their times where they did look better, we didn't get to see that. To To jump over to the defensive side, you mentioned the run defense. I'm very curious obviously we know they bring in Reese, they get rid of Dexter Lawrence, but you get second year of Abdul Carter, and I feel like Kayvon Thibodeau should have not a new lease on life, but a little bit more comfortability. He made it through the offseason. I think the Giants clearly made it known that they want to keep him. Are we going to see something different? Obviously, we hope Abdul Carter takes that leap in year 2, but are we going to see also something different from a Kayvon Thibodeau with what is kind of a new look pass rush without Dexter Lawrence and adding the young pass rusher?
Yeah, what's interesting about Kayvon is he didn't have the numbers last year, but
he was fine.
Really, well, he also came into camp he was in way better shape. He had a great attitude. He was one of the on-field lead-by-example guys on the team last year. And the production didn't show. But when people ask me what I want to see more from with Kayvon, it's just finishing in the games, because the way he approached everything else last year I thought was great. You just said it right, which is if Abdul comes on and fills a role that Kayvon's been filling, and he's got more explosiveness, even though he's not as good of a run defender, does Kayvon become someone that gets traded before the deadline? Does he get moved deeper into a rotation? Those are all important questions to ask. I mean, there were times at practice in the spring where Kayvon sometimes wasn't on the field with the first string.
Right.
And then he rotated in and Abdul wasn't. So there's a lot of opportunity there. I think the focus for me, to be honest, there is not as much on a Kayvon. It's on the coordinator, Denard Wilson. I think he has a lot of tools and weapons at his disposal, but they don't all fit into the positional boxes. So Reese, Carter, Thibodeau, these guys all have certain skill sets that he has to figure out a way to use them effectively, but also unpredictably. So I think figuring out their front and their run stopping and their pass rush and the fits of these guys and unlocking their production, I think, yes, the players, Kayvon, they have to bring their edge and their A game. I think it has as much to do, though, with how they are deployed and when they are deployed as with how they're playing.
Right. And we're talking to Pat Leonard of the Daily News. A couple more. So you talked about the defense. You liked the way it looked. I feel like most of the conversation after the free agency and the draft was the secondary. I do think they have some talent there. Where are you at with this Giants secondary? I know we're just getting into camp, but how do you feel about it going into this first practice on Wednesday?
I think so. I don't think the secondary is good yet. I think they have to show us that. But Adebo has to be better than he was last year. I mean, he cannot be. He has to be something closer to the player he was in New Orleans, even if he doesn't get back to it.
Well, I thought they had that early on, too, with him. I thought early in the season he looked a lot better than he did later in the season.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he got banged up, and, some compete wasn't there as well. But, Tyler Nubin is a safety that they're trying to give more of an opportunity, a second chance to, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ardarius Washington was starting over him at the start of the season if Nubin doesn't win the job. Newsome is really an interesting player because they added him on a cheap deal as a veteran who's bounced around, and they're hoping that between Banks and Newsome that they can get somebody reliable, or at least a reliable rotation opposite Adebo. But Newsome hasn't shown that he can lock that down in his career yet, and certainly Banks has not shown that in New York either. So I think it's a big question mark in the secondary. But as you just said, in addition to adding Colton Hood and, Jason Pinnock coming back as a reserve, they've got more pieces. But again, Wilson has a lot on his plate here because, a guy like Reese, he's talented, but he's raw. A guy like Hood, he's talented, but he's young and he's got to put on weight. Newsome, a guy who you're relying on probably to start and help you win games, but when he's on an island, hasn't succeeded in that way. So, I think what this is, Anthony, is it's not just about, hey, let's get ready to beat the Cowboys and the Rams, and it should be, and it is. It's, ticket holders want to see wins. This is also still a training ground, even into the season, of who can handle the way Harbaugh coaches and who can handle being a Giant and who can handle the expectations that the Giants had in 2011 and in 2007 and in the 1980s. Because right now, the Giants still have guys on this team who are used to playing a certain way and thinking it's good enough and thinking it's hard enough, and it's not. Right. So I know I'm kind of veering off the secondary here, but the secondary gets me fired up about that because Holland and Adebo last year, like they were party to a lot of bad football, and they acted like they were watching it from the stands, and they weren't part of the ones on the field doing it. You need all these guys rowing in the same direction, just like the Norway fans during the World Cup with Holland. And, that's what the Giants need, is from the secondary and the back of the field all the way through across the line of scrimmage to the tailback behind Jackson Dart.
So I guess also, kind of like one and the same, is there anyone that you may think like could be on the bubble that fans aren't thinking about that may not actually make the roster out of camp? And also, when we do get in the camp, is there a specific position, maybe it is in the secondary, that you see them maybe trying to attack with those late camp cuts?
Interesting. So the bubble question. So I guess this is not a guy who I think is not going to make the roster, but Darnell Mooney as a receiver I think is interesting because I think he's viewed based on his contract plus the incentives that was reported initially as higher than the others. He's kind of viewed as a guy who's clearly going to be on the team and clearly going to be on the field all the time. But I don't know, how much better is he right now than Juju Smith-Schuster and Odell Beckham if they're healthy? Is he better than either of those players? So the wide receiver rotation, I would say, I think a lot of people are planting it as something that's obvious right now as top 4 or 5. I wouldn't consider it that. I would say that it's open season there. And I actually think Odell Beckham Jr., if he stays healthy, is going to make the team. But so that's an interesting one, is kind of the expectations are low because he's been banged up. He's towards the end of his career. But are some of these other guys ahead of him on the roster who you shouldn't take for granted actually going to outplay a player like that? That's one I'm watching. I guess Jalen Hyatt would be the guy who could fall off that people expect probably would have already.
That was the one I was kind of thinking of.
Yeah, that would be the name to watch. I guess I think I filed that away already as obvious, but that's the answer to your question. And then your question about the secondary, what was the secondary question?
Well, no, not necessarily secondary, but do you think, is there a position, maybe it's wide out too, like at the end of camp, we're going to see guys get cut that we may not have thought were going to get cut. Is there a position you think the Giants may be waiting for another person to be out there that's available that wasn't available just yet?
I think corner is something that even though they added Newsome and they're hoping for Banks, like let's say 2 of the 3 guys they hope are going to factor into starting are underwhelming during camp at corner. That's a position that you just can't ignore. Drew Phillips has shown some good compete and some good football in between some horrific football at nickel, but he's like a good competitor, teammate, somebody you want on your team. But I think it's the positions that are premium like that, like corner. They're going to keep throwing assets at interior defensive line this entire year. I mean, that's going to be a concern. But I think it would be corner. Corner would be the position that if Newsome underperforms or gets banged up, that's going to be one that they have to find some way to solidify or put a Band-Aid over, because you're just not going to be able to ignore it once you walk into week 1 against CD and George Pickens.
Pat, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the time.
You got it. Thank you. Take care.
Make sure you guys check out Pat Leonard in the Daily News. Also, the Talking Ball podcast with Pat Leonard. That's on YouTube. Pat's one of the best that does it. And, make sure you follow him. We'll probably try to check in with him during the season or during training camp. We got a lot more to get to. We'll continue this conversation. We'll get back into the Yankees trade deadline conversation. The Mets about to fall again in a pitiful fashion to the Dodgers, and the Knicks, LeBron fallout, all of that right here on The Fan. Anthony Gallo, back after this.
Training camp is right around the corner, and nobody gets you ready for football season like WFAN.
It's a good variety of coverage.
From roster moves to quarterback questions to the biggest stories in the NFL, our experts have you covered. Get ready for Kickoff 2026 on WFAN.
The all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5 is designed to give you more of what matters. More passenger space and headroom for greater comfort. More cargo space, a lower lift-in height, and a standard power liftgate on every model. More connectivity with Google built-in integration, plus Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All in a family-friendly SUV that delivers exceptional value. Drive a Mazda during the Mazda's More to Move You sales event and discover what makes Mazda the safest new car brand by Consumer Reports. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Save smarter and enjoy more with the great CD rates offered by Flushing Bank, a division of Ocean First Bank. Whether you're planning ahead or growing your savings, now is a great time to lock in a competitive rate. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
Total Orthopedics is expanding across Long Island and New Jersey with offices coming to Babylon, West Babylon, Comac, and West Orange. From sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com today.
Your sales team has the talent. They've got the tools. They don't have time to close the deals you need to win unless they have sales with AI. SAILES.com. Sales.com is pipeline as infrastructure. Always on, always prospecting in the background. No logins, no data entry, just real opportunities delivered to your reps. The future of sales is SAILES.com.
Genie here! Trade your summer days for Arabian Nights when you come see Disney's Aladdin on Broadway. There's timeless music, show-stopping spectacle, and magic carpet rides you gotta see to believe. I could watch it 1,001 times, you get me? This summer, fly to the New Amsterdam Theater and see the one Broadway show that soars above the rest. Get tickets today at AladdinTheMusical.com.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Orgavadazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wednesdays are for unwinding and for wine. At P.F. Chang's, your midweek reset just got better because every Wednesday, bottles of wine are half off. So text the group chat, make a plan, and turn an ordinary night into something worth savoring. Great wine, great company, half the price. Wine Wednesday, only at P.F. Chang's. Available to guests 21 and over. Dine in only all day Wednesday. Please drink responsibly.
The Rico Bronya podcast is proudly sponsored by Takara Fuji Apple Chew High, the sparkling cocktail that blends shochu spirits with delicious flavors of fruits from Japan. Whether it's Citi Field or your favorite spot, raise the apple.
Injured in an accident? Your case in the hands of one lawyer may settle for $100,000, but in the hands of the right law firm could be worth millions. The Rothenberg Law Firm has been representing injury victims for over 50 years, winning and collecting billions for our clients. And we're not stopping now. The Rothenberg Law Firm, 1-800-624-8888, or visit us at injurylawyer.com.
Be a lawyer for injured ones. Injurylawyer.com.
Every opinion counts with Evan and Tiki. Join the conversation weekdays from 10 to 2. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by...
Conversation with Pat Leonard from the Daily News. You could go back on the Rewind app, YouTube. We'll post it on YouTube as well. And, always check him out on the Talking Ball podcast with Pat Leonard on YouTube. The last time I spoke to you guys, I was bragging. I put together the TV stand. I put together the stools. We got my apartment is finally taking shape. We're getting rugs for it. I scratch up the floors so much, so we got to now cover up the scratches on the floors underneath the it's not a dining room, but it is like our essential dining room. It's an apartment. You know what I'm saying? I got the dinner table in there, but I also have been trying to get some plants for the apartment. We need a little oxygen, so I went out. I bought some plants. Got the snake plant. I got some plant that's got like gigantic leaves on it. And I read that if you talk to your plants, that it's good for them. The carbon monoxide is good for them. So now, when the fiance doesn't want to listen to me, bitch and moan about the Mets or talk about the NBA or soccer, whatever it is, I started just, having one-way conversations, sports conversations with my plants. And she walked in on me the other day, talking about how I didn't care what happened in the NBA. The Knicks are still going to repeat as NBA champions. And it was one of those moments where I saw the regret in her eyes about who she's living with. And we named the plants. We have a snake plant in the room called El Toro. I don't know. That's what we came up with. And then the other plant that I don't know what it is Precious. They're big plants. But, she walked in on the one in the room. I was getting changed. I was talking to it. Talking very closely to it because I don't know how the carbon monoxide, changes. But this is where I'm at as I grow into this apartment. So I wasn't proud of it. I'm also not going to stop talking to my plants now.
So you're talking to your plants now?
So I'm what?
You're talking to your plants.
I'm giving them hot takes. And
do
also,
you think the plants
sometimes
are
I
listening?
whisper to them when she gets on my nerves.
Do you think the plants are listening to you?
No, but they said the carbon monoxide, when you talk to them, is good for the plants.
It's carbon dioxide, not monoxide.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, thank you. Actually, that is important, but just frustrating also.
That you don't know the difference between carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide?
Big shot over here. You're coastal elite. That's what you are. And the other thing is, in this conversation that we're having, a couple weeks ago, I gave my fiance, she got sick. I didn't give this to her because I didn't have strep, but she got strep from whatever she got sick from that I got her sick. So this was like a month ago. And my dumbass looks up, can you give your plants strep? You can't. I found that out. You can't do that because it's not how it changes. Our biologies are different.
Yes. What's wrong with you? And I think I'm weird. And frankly,
No,
I am weird.
No, you are weird.
I'm admitting that.
In a good way, but you're weird.
You thought you can give your El Toro strep?
Thank you for calling him by his actual name. Yes, I was being safe. I didn't know.
He's a plant.
Well, and he's growing. You know why? Because he gets to hear me complain about the Mets every day. Listen, don't judge me. You're judging me, but don't judge me. So, yeah, I looked it up. And I think Google was like, it just said no in one line. Normally, it gives you a whole bunch of stuff. It was just like, no, you can't. Your biologies are different. You dummy. It could have said that. I would have been like, all right, relax. She doesn't know I looked that up. She did catch me giving, sports takes to my plants. And sometimes when she, is getting on my nerves and she's bullying me around the house, whether I didn't clean or I left something out, I'm like, can you believe this woman? But that's where I'm at in my home ownership, my apartment ownership. But it's starting to come together. You don't realize when you move into a new place how long it takes to just do everything. How expensive it is to move if you want to get new furniture, all of that. So I learned, because in my old apartment, I had the same furniture for like 10 years. Getting a humidifier was the giant leap of, getting new furniture in my old apartment. But that's where we're at. I'm talking to my plants now. I'm complaining to them that I don't get to eat what I want to eat.
Well, that's your own choice.
That's
a choice.
I'm going to say something right now, and it's going to be really mean. I'd rather talk to them than you.
You're not the first one to say that, but again, that's a choice. That's a choice that you are making to not eat specific things. No one is forcing you not to eat specific things.
So what are you saying? I'm under, I live in a fascist regime in my household.
No, I'm saying it's your own choice. Don't complain about it.
You've met her now. She
something.
knows who you are, Paul. So you better watch your back.
I 100%. But don't complain that that you can't eat something. It's your choice not to eat it.
All right, tough guy.
I'm not being tough. It's your choice.
Whatever. I'm also losing weight, so it's working reluctantly. Yesterday I ate. Today I'm probably gonna eat because I'm starving right now, and I should have ate before I came in here. But I'm starting to feel a little better. The bubble guts are gone. So the drinking did not win this time. But I talked to my plants. You should talk to your plants too. Do you have plants?
No.
Well, I bought them because they're good. You're supposed to, we're in an apartment. I'm trying to get a little oxygen in this place. And then the other one was more an aesthetic thing. She wanted to get fake plants. I'm like, why are we getting fake plants? Let's get an actual real plant in here. And now I'm a plant guy now.
Now you're a plant guy.
Not the old plants that I used to smoke, but now I'm a plant guy, an actual plant guy.
Have you thought about getting one of those?
No. I think legally you can. Actually, don't take that out. Scrub that from the record. I don't know if that's true, but I think you can. No, I don't. I can't. I don't. First of all, I don't smoke anymore. I occasionally will dabble an edible. If I go to a concert, I'll pop an Eddie. Maybe if she's gone for a couple nights and I'm playing video games, but
next time you do that, tell him I say hello.
Tell who?
Eddie.
Okay. All right. 888-808-1019. I can't stand you. This is why I talk to my blades. I just can't stand you. JR in Lake George. What's going on, JR?
Hey man, I love listening to you, but I gotta point something out to you. That guy Edwards was dead on accurate about the Giants. Giant fans, I love you, but don't get your hype up on these Giants this year. And you mentioned earlier about an hour. What's that?
I'm not a Giants fan.
No, I know. I didn't say that. I'm talking about other Giants. That guy was dead on. But you said about an hour earlier that the Jets don't have no personnel over the Giants. The Jets' personnel is superior on offense of the Giants. You match them up.
I didn't say that, though.
Position by position.
I did not say that, though.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
JR, let me talk. You want to just say I said
I love
something.
you.
JR, let me talk. I'll let you talk.
I love you.
JR, I'm okay. Okay. I said the Giants have more talent. I said they are at different places in their talent, whereas the Jets are still building. Yes, the Jets do have Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. They do not have a quarterback. I'm sure, yes, I think Geno Smith will be an upgrade. They have a better offensive line. There's not much else that they have that I would point to as more talent than the Giants.
You're kidding me, right? The Jets running backs are all 4.5 yards per carry.
Okay. I
and
just said they
receiving.
had Breece Hall. Yes,
The
Giants
tight ends are excellent.
They're good. They're good. I'm not going to say they're excellent. They're good.
Well, all
Mason,
right,
how much more has Mason Taylor done in his career than Isaiah Likely?
Yeah, you're going to see. Well, who's the quarterback throwing the ball to these guys? I mean, think about it.
JR, that's not what I'm saying. All right, JR, you're a sensitive Jets fan. Clearly, I love you. You're clearly. I don't know what I said that was wrong. All I said was the Giants have more talent on their roster, and I also said their talents are in different spots. The Giants are in a spot that, and just what it is, you can argue with the wall. They are going to be viewed to compete more. And who's throwing them the ball? Well, the Giants, I would say right now, even if I think some of it's been overblown, I think I view Jackson Dart as a more talented cornerback than Geno Smith. I'm not taking away. You're trying to hype up Mason Taylor here. Garrett Wilson is one of the best wide receivers in the sport. If you've listened to me talk, I'm a big Garrett Wilson guy. Breece Hall, very good player. If you're going to nitpick one spot, the Giants have a good running back room. It's not just Cam Scatterbo. I'm sorry that I offended you. I think the Jets have a very good. I've argued with people online about the Jets' offensive line situation. They are not as talented defensively. I don't know where you view talent with the Jets. But this is not to just tear down the Jets. If you ask yourself, honestly, who do you think wins more games this year? I'm not saying that the Jets can't get better. You would probably say the Giants. They're both on that fringe. Also, if the Jets win 6 games, 7 games this year, and the Giants win 6 or 7 games this year, which one is going to be viewed as a bigger disappointment? The Giants. The Jets were going to view that as an improvement. And part of that is due to lack of talent. Now, I think the Jets are going to take a step offensively because even if I don't think Geno Smith is good, he is better than who the quarterbacks were. He's going to play behind a better offensive line than he did in Oakland or Las Vegas. He's still Geno Smith. And I'm sorry, 2 years with the Seahawks is not going to change. The Seahawks plugged in Sam Darnold and they didn't miss a beat. So was that the system and the talent around him? And I like what the Jets did this offseason. Is it that big of a leap to say that the Giants have more talent on their roster than the Jets? Maybe I'm wrong. Crucify me. 888-808-1019. I'm going to go home tonight, and I'm going to complain about JR to my plants. That's what I'm going to do. And every time I say this, I feel worse about myself. We'll get back into the Giants conversation, the Yankees deadline conversation, and the Knicks, and the fallout from the LeBron James, signing with Philly, all that. Anthony Gallo, I got you for another hour and a half up until 5 o'clock right here on The Fan.
It's Evan and Tiki, middays on The Fan, 101.9 FM.
Caballero's fine. Volpe's fine. They are not the everyday shortstop for the New York Yankees. Either that guy isn't on the team, or that guy is Lombard. And since he's been activated 5 games ago, the dude is tearing it up. Enough is enough.
Get Evan and Tiki on demand. Available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and the free Odyssey app.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the New York community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JPMorgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC.
At NYU Langone Health, we know there really is no place like home. That's why we get our surgery patients home faster and have fewer readmissions than any other health system. That means once you're home, you won't need to go back for the same procedure. Instead, you can get back to the things you love. And the next time you need something else, we're here. Better health starts with a better health system. Learn more at nyulangonehealth.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, Boomer Esiason here. I've spent years on the field learning what really matters most: reliability, consistency, and trust. That's why I love Red Pocket Mobile. You choose from 3 major 5G networks, plans start at just $10 a month, and stay there. Plus real customer care answers in under 2 minutes. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with no rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Circa Survivor, pick one winner each week. Last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
If you're tired of dealing with dummies every time you shop for a car, I get it. All the games they play, the back and forth, it's brutal. Well, the team over at Route 22 Toyota seem to have it figured out. They're real people who have made the entire process of buying a car simple and that smart. Plus, they're easy to get to, right on Route 22 in Hillside, New Jersey, and they're always on the money with incredible deals on their huge selection of new and used Toyota. So remember, if you're tired of dealing with dummies, get over to Route 22 Toyota and experience the smart way to buy your next vehicle.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Odyssey Sports is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
The night belongs to the fans. Join Tommy Lugauer for After Hours, weekdays at 7. Call 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
Oh, that's right. This Fan Focus is presented by Chef IQ. Watch the game, not the grill. Get your gear at chefiq.com. Tyrone Taylor hits a 3-run shot to give the Mets the lead. Trade him. Add it to his value and trade him. The Mets got to start making moves here, and they got to start selling guys off. And it's ironic enough, I feel like Tyrone Taylor's had like the 3 biggest home runs this season. Or, maybe the Juan Soto home run from a couple weeks ago. I think it was against the Braves. Maybe that is up there as well, but he is, probably has all, the few clutch hits they've had this year have come at the hands of Tyrone Taylor. So his value's going up. Today's price is not yesterday's price. So the Mets have to start making moves, and they have to, make some tough decisions. And it's time to rip the Band-Aid off with them. And you heard the report earlier. It was either this week or last week where it was McClain, Scott. I guess Thornton would be in there too because he's so young and he's been pitching well. The young outfielders and Soto are the most untouchable guys on the roster. And, first speculation was Lindor. I don't think they're trading Lindor. But I did think it felt good that, all right, we know that Weaver and Devin Williams can be had. And I would get rid of them in a heartbeat. They're not going to get anything for Alvarez. You probably get more for Tyrone Taylor or Luis Torrens at this point than you could get for Alvarez. You're not getting anything for Brett Beatty. He can't even field the ball. Yesterday was pitiful. And Vientos is hurt. You're not getting anything good for Peralta. You might as well get rid of him because what are you going to hold on to him for what? A draft pick? They are in dire straits right now. And to the Lindor conversation, you go into they come off of that report, and then this week David Stearns a couple days ago starts speaking, and his comments were, you look at our core, and we have young players and a couple of potential guys we think are Hall of Famers. And I don't know if he was talking about Bo Bichette, but I don't think he was. But you look at Lindor and Soto, and you would say, Lindor obviously still has to have a strong end to his career, but you would say those are two guys that are playing to a Hall of Fame trajectory. That's at least how I took it. I don't think he's projecting that Nolan McClain, Carson Bench, or A.J. Ewing are going to be Hall of Famers. So I don't know where they sit with that. I think they'd have to get blown away to trade Francisco Lindor. I don't want to trade Lindor. If they got a haul for him, then I'd have to revisit it. But I think anyone who isn't a young, controllable player, or I guess Juan Soto, should be considered available. 888-808-1019. Lena in Little Falls. What's going on, Lena?
Hey, Anthony. It's Lena.
Lena, sorry.
Hi, no worries. I just wanted to commend you on the relationship you're building with your plants.
Thank
I have a similar relationship. I've named all of them. I talk to all of them. I let them know how beautiful they are first thing I wake up in the morning and that they brighten my day. They make me healthy. You got to talk to them because that's how they bloom and that's how they thrive.
Yeah, I just hope that most of the time I'm talking to them about sports, and it's usually been me complaining about the Mets. I hope that doesn't have a negative impact, that I'm putting out negative energy into the air for them.
No, I think they're going to take your negative energy and they're going to make it positive and give it out to you in the air, because we're giving them our carbon dioxide, right? And they're turning it into oxygen.
Right. Okay. See, I feel better about this already. I'm benefiting my household by doing this. Even if my fiance walked in on me, whispering sweet nothings about the Knicks to my plants.
So your fiance is a nurse, right?
Yes. Nurse practitioner, but yes.
Yeah, so am I. I'm a nurse. I'm almost done with my NP degree, but
awesome.
She should know. Thanks. She should know.
Well, I don't think she was judging me for talking to them. I think it was in the manner she walked in, me talking to the plants and what I was talking to them about. I think that's what she judged me about. But I appreciate the call because now I feel a little bit better about myself. So thank you.
Yeah, keep loving on the plants.
I will. I appreciate it.
To you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Now, if they talk back to me, that'd be crazy. And someone mentioned in the YouTube chat, I got to remind them, Knicks in 5. Even with the LeBron James thing, it's still Knicks in 5. It always will be Knicks in 5. But there you go. I am doing a benefit to my household by talking to my plants. If they die, that's not my fault. If they die, it means I'm pretty bad at this because the plants we got were from like some website where you just fill up the base and they water themselves, essentially. So there we go. Take that, Paulie. I should have asked her if you could give plants strep. So that's that. And then, naming them probably wasn't the best, look for me, but we did that.
And you said it was El Toro and what?
El Toro is the dragon plant that's in our room. And then we have another plant that I forget what it is. And
you forgot the name?
Precious is the name.
Achua.
Wow. Just Precious. I did try to name it Jalen, but that got shot down. We're still hoping for that first kid.
El Toro?
I came up with El Toro as a joke.
She was okay with El Toro and not Jalen?
Well, I came up with El Toro first, and I wanted to name the other one Jalen. And she was like, why name it Precious? I'm like, whatever. We're thinking too much about this. El Toro felt like a dragon. I don't know. That's where I'm at.
It's a roller coaster.
It is. A roller coaster that is pretty awesome. But the first time I went on it, it's got that drop, and it looks like you're going straight for the wood. Like I'm short. So I don't know what I was thinking, but if it makes you feel like your head is going to smack off the wood.
Yes, it does.
And you just avoid all of it. Unlike the Cyclone, where you get on the Cyclone and you feel like that thing is one rattled screw away from you flying off altogether. So different experiences. But yes, El Toro is a roller coaster. We got a lot more. We'll continue the plan conversation on the other side. We'll also get back into the Yankees trade deadline, the Mets, the Knicks, the Giants, Jets, all that. I got you for one more hour right here on The Fan. Anthony Gallo, back after this.
Sunday Night Baseball is on WFAN. The Yankees and Phillies play ball. 7:20 tonight. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. AM 660, 1019 FM, and available en Espanol on the free Odyssey app.
Orgavada Zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Your sales team has the talent. They've got the tools. They don't have time to close the deals you need to win unless they have sales with AI. SAILES.com. Sales.com.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. Wind Creek Bethlehem is your place for all the action. Check out the high-energy casino floor for the hottest slots and table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette. Go for high-stakes play in the poker room and enjoy tableside massages and complimentary beverage service. Experience the thrill of live dealer stadium gaming or visit the sportsbook to catch the game and place your wager. Mix things up with virtual golf at Twisted Tees or axe throwing at Angry Jacks. Fuel up at your choice of eateries like Chop House, Urban Table, and Bethlehem Barrel and Draft House. Keep the night going with live entertainment or a handcrafted cocktail. Then relax in a luxurious guest room at Wind Creek's AAA 4-Diamond Hotel. Play online anytime in the Wind Creek Casinoverse. Download it for free from the Apple or Google App Stores. Wind Creek Bethlehem. Go for the W. Learn more at windcreekbethlehem.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What an atmosphere tonight. The stands are packed. Down here, two fans side by side, both holding a Heineken. Promising start. The chant begins. Listen to that. Perfect sync. Corner coming in. They lean forward together and goal! Arms up. They cheers. Wait. That's a hug. That's a hug. Let's check the replay. Yes, two strangers at kickoff. Friends by full time.
Fans have more friends. Find yours in the stands. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to cars4kids.org. That's cars with a K.
Hi, this is New Jersey Attorney General Jen Davenport. Speeding puts everyone at risk. That's why officers and troopers are actively looking for drivers who drive too fast. Don't let speeding be the reason that you or someone else doesn't make it home. Slow down and drive safely, New Jersey.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
The all-new 2026 Mazda CX-5 is designed to give you more of what matters. More passenger space and headroom for greater comfort. More cargo space, a lower lift-in height, and a standard power liftgate on every model. More connectivity with Google built-in integration, plus Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All in a family-friendly SUV that delivers exceptional value. Drive a Mazda during the Mazda's More to Move You sales event and discover what makes Mazda the safest new car brand by Consumer Reports. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
80 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Allstate is Metro New York's trusted auto insurer, protecting cars across the tri-state area. We're by your side when you need us most, providing you with affordable auto coverage you can rely on. So switch to Allstate today, and you could save an average of $713 on auto insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate. Based on the national average annual savings for new customers surveyed in 2024, savings vary, subject to terms and availability.
Save even more during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members save up to 20% on in-stock molding when you spend $250 or more. And save up to 20% on in-stock pre-hung interior doors when you buy 6 or more. Load up today on the materials you need and get the most out of Pro Savings Days. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 7/31 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Start the day with Boomer and Geo, mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
8 home runs on the year, as opposed to Bo Bichette, who has 10 home runs on the. Or yeah, he's got. So coming in, 8 home runs for Tyrone Taylor in 128 plate appearances in 412 plate appearances. Bo Bichette has 10 home runs. They are, it's crazy how bad he's had and he's going to be here next year. There's no way you're a team trading for him and risking him opting in. Oh, look at that. The Mets scored another run. They're up 2 now on a wild pitch. I'm sure this guy Dalton rushing the catcher for the Dodgers will just take that fine, as this guy seems to blow up every other week. But yeah, Tyrone Taylor, soon to be former, Metsy, he'll definitely get traded. Anyone who's playing well right now that isn't a young player or, one of the cornerstone pieces in like a Soto or Lindor, I would expect to be traded this week. I don't think we're waiting until Monday to see guys get traded. I wouldn't be shocked if the Dodgers took a call on Tyrone Taylor right now. If you're the Yankees, maybe you'd be like, hey, we'll send you a player to be named later and some cash for Tyrone Taylor. You think the Mets do it? Cody Bellinger getting hurt. That's not the big move. I'm saying, it's a bridge. He's a better fourth outfielder than probably what you have on the roster right now. But, and to my point that I made earlier in the show, obviously Bellinger on the 10-day IL after being red hot over the last 20 or so games. And they call up Spencer Jones. And even before we got that news about 20 minutes into the show. But my initial point was the Yankees cannot wait around any longer. They have to make a move, and they have to make a move for a bat. They could wait on going after a pitcher in the bullpen. They could wait on that aspect. And I'm not talking about just any bat. I'm talking about they have to go out and take a big swing and improve this offense. Whether it's at catcher, third base, or shortstop. Now, if you go and make an outfield move, it's got to be a lesser move. Like something that's just there to fill that fourth outfielder spot. But you have to go chase a bat. If it's and I don't think the injury concerns of Judge, let's say Bellinger, we do expect him to be back 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is. The injury to Judge should not prevent you from chasing a guy who's going to be here next year or the year after that. It should prevent you from chasing after a rental that's going to cost you a ton. But a Hunter Goodman, a Rafael Devers, a Manny Machado, it's that CJ Abrams who's red hot right now. I know that's been floated out there. The Nationals are in the playoff picture. He's a young player. I don't expect them to make a trade. They're only 2 games back. I don't expect them to deal CJ Abrams. But it's been rumored that the Yankees and Brewers have interest. You could have interest. It doesn't mean anything. But they have to go make a move. And if they think that Judge isn't going to be 100% this year, that shouldn't prevent them from chasing a bat that's going to be here next year or the year after that. Now, if you're going to go after, a rental that's going to cost you a ton, sure, that could scare you off. But even a Luis Arraez type, I don't think it's going to cost them a lot to go get a player like that. And he would be, in my opinion, a change, a good change for that lineup, something they don't have. He never strikes out, puts the bat on the ball, gets on base. He doesn't have pop, but he can hit the ball to the gaps and get a couple doubles. Whatever it is, he's a better field. I don't think he's a butcher. I don't think he's a great fielder, but he's not a butcher in the field if you were to put him at third base. Occasionally you could put him at first. They have to go make a move. That's a rental that I'm talking about, a big player. And the only one that comes to mind is somebody they're not going after Skubal. That's the one I think that comes to my mind. But you have to go get a bat, and you have to do it sooner than later. You cannot wait for other teams to jump you on that. And if you're the fan that wants bullpen help, they can wait on that. They don't have to worry about improving the bullpen immediately because the bullpen is fine. Now, if they go and chase a Mason Miller, they can't just blow their entire farm system on a Mason Miller type if he's even available. You have to address the deficiencies you have on offense. They are not going to reach their potential if they don't. And this is me looking ahead. This is me expecting Judge to come back and Bellinger to come back. This is me looking at this team and saying, even with those two guys healthy and a Ben Rice hitting well, and let's say Jazz takes a step forward, they are going to need to address one of, if not a couple, of catcher, third base, shortstop. You need a bat. You cannot be a black hole offensively at catcher, third base, and shortstop. It's not because of the positions. It's because that's a third of your lineup being unproductive, no substance coming from the bottom end of your lineup. And the hope is you make a move. You can move a Trent Grisham to the bottom half of your lineup. You could slot Jazz, maybe a batter or two back when you're healthy. But they cannot just focus on small ancillary moves and then take a big swing, if they even do that, at closer and think that's going to be good enough. Just because I feel like, and you may feel like, they are better than the entire American League as currently constructed, they should not be settling for just having the division or having the best record in the American League. They should be chasing a World Series. They should be chasing the chance to guarantee, obviously there are no guarantees, but you want to make it as hard as possible for someone in the American League to knock you off going into the World Series. Because if they wait chasing a big fish, whether that is, Mason Miller or, I don't know, somebody who may not actually be available, that could come back to bite them. Let's say the Padres win 5 of their next 6. They sweep their first series this week. Are they going to deal Mason Miller? No. Are they going to deal Manny Machado? No. So you're going to wait around and then lose out on everyone else because you were waiting for the golden goose, for the shiny object? Marcus Semien with a 3-run shot. Mets now up 8-3. There's no way they can blow this.
Let's go, Mets.
Trade him. Trade him. He's on a hot streak. F-A-M-P-N-N. What a time.
Let's go, Mets.
Oh, okay. They suck, and they just, even when they do well, it bothers me. But hey, hopefully this leads to some guys being dealt. 888-808-1019. Jackson in Queens. What's going on, Jackson?
Hey, Gallo. First time, long time.
What's up, dude?
I want to know who wins in a MMA fight between you and Pete Hoffman?
What?
Who do you think? Who wins in an MMA fight between you and Pete Hoffman?
You talking about me and Pete get into an octagon?
Yeah, you and Pete get into an octagon.
And it's mixed martial arts.
Who steps out of Madison Square Garden as the
I'm taking him down.
Preliminary fight?
I'm taking him down. He's top heavy. I'm going for his ankles, and then I'm punching him. Can you punch in the kidneys in MMA? Because I'm hitting him in his dwarf kidney. So I'm going for his ankles. I'm going for his ankles, even if I got to trip him, and then I'm hitting him in his dwarf kidney. Pete is a big dude, though. If he gets his mitts on me, he might kill me. Especially the way the Mets season's going. He's got some pent-up anger. Like, he's a tyrant walking around this place this year. I can just tell you that much. Behind the scenes, Pete Hoffman, tyrant.
The guy seems a little like he has like a loose screw or something like that sometimes.
Don't we all? No, I love Pete, but I'm taking him down. If I'm coming out of MSG, and I appreciate the call, Jackson, I'm taking him down. You heard it here first. Pete, I'm taking you down. He's got a dwarf kidney. I think if I get him in the dwarf kidney, I'm good. I got to take him down. He's like top heavy. What was like the Dane Cook joke? Talking about the Kool-Aid man. You're top heavy. I'll kick you in the shins.
I never was much for Dane Cook.
He had a run. I mean, there was like a 2-year run. He was the biggest comic.
Waiting? Was that Dane Cook?
Great movie. Waiting and then Good Luck Chuck.
Yeah.
And he's in... Oh, no. Waiting he's a small part in Waiting. What's the one I'm thinking about? He's in that one that they're like in the Costco. There's Good Luck Chuck where it's like every woman he sleeps with gets married after they sleep with him. And then he's in the one...
Employee of the Month?
Employee of the Month. It's I think Andy Dick is in that. And I don't know what the story is, but he like lives in I don't know. He works at like a Costco type store. But then he's in Waiting where he's the chef with the eye piercing. But he's in it very sparingly. Waiting is a great movie though.
I think I was thinking of Ryan Reynolds. How I Got Ryan Reynolds and
But Dane Cook is the chef in it. Ryan Reynolds is he's not even the lead. It's Justin Long is the lead. And he gets the $100 tip. And he gets the $1 tip and he goes and gives it back to the guy. That's a good movie. Also, I worked in the food service industry, so I can relate to it. But Dane Cook had a run. He had like a Kool-Aid joke where he's like, I will kick you. You are top heavy. You'll spill over. I'll do that to Hoff. I'll kick him in the shins. He'll go down, and then I'll catch him in the dwarf kidney. Otherwise, I'm screwed because he's a lurch. He's a hoss. He also got tough feet because he never wears socks. So those feet, he probably steps on hot coals. He's got kids. He steps on Legos all the time, which is a pain, excruciating pain. It is 100 out of 10 pain. John in Union, what's going on, John?
What's up, Anthony?
How are you, dude?
So I've called a couple of hosts up here, and they kind of dismissed this trade. And I don't see why it's not feasible for the Yankees to get Devers and Arise. They want Devers off that payroll in San Francisco in the worst way. So Arise is on a 1-year contract. He's not doing anything out there in San Francisco except compiling base hits. That's all he's doing. He's not helping them win. So if you're the Yankees, if you're the Giants, and they offered you McMahon and Jazz, would you trade away?
No.
I would trade those. Why?
But why would they do
trade
that?
Those two.
But why? But John, why would the Giants give up a guy they gave up a ton for, who's in his prime, for Jazz Chisholm and Ryan McMahon?
Because they want that $180 million, whatever it is, they want it off the payroll.
But
they don't want to pay this guy anymore.
But why would the return? It doesn't matter. You're talking about him like he's an albatross. He's not. He's still one of the best hitters in baseball. Like, they're not going to give him up, and I'm assuming you're a Yankee fan. They're not just giving him up for your scraps. They're going to want prospects for him.
So throw whoever prospects you want to throw in there. Throw anybody you want in there. Our prospects in the Yankees, they're not good. Throw anybody you want to throw in there. You want to throw Lombard in there? Throw him in there.
All right, John, come on. I mean, I get it. They're not good. Maybe he's not a Yankee fan. It doesn't matter if you don't think they're good. George Lombard is viewed as a top prospect around baseball. Scouts love him. He was a guy that if the Yankees didn't sign him, would have been the number 1 overall pick probably the next year. Yes, they could get Devers. Just think about how I thought he was going to give like a good trade. And he's like, why can't we get Devers and Luis Ariz for Jazz Chisholm and Ryan McMahon? Why is that so crazy? First of all, they don't want Ryan McMahon. They don't. They have Matt Chapman. Why would they need another guy who can't hit at third base? What they probably would do, and you would have to give up LeGrange, however you say his name, Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez. Probably those three, I think you would have to give up, or a combination of two of those threes. Somebody middle of the road, and then maybe, why would they want Jazz? I'm just trying to why I was okay with the thought of, all right, yeah, they could get both those guys. They just have to give up a ton to get them. They're not getting them for Jazz and Ryan McMahon. He broke my brain with that trade. It's unreal.
Yeah, I think Yankees fans might be scarred with Cashman's refusal to trade Anthony Volpe. They didn't move him for Luis Castillo, a top-of-the-line starter.
That's a good point. So now they're saying just get rid of George Lombard.
And I think
that's a good point.
I actually think that scarred Yankees fans, that they now are petrified that George Lombard might be the next Anthony Volpe, and they want to take advantage and move him.
Yeah, it's just I think that they're it's a good point, Paul. It is a good point. The psychology of the sports fan. And it would be hilarious. He would be the first Yankee prospect that they move that turns into like a stud. Because they move guys they never pan out.
Right. What was Jesus
Montero. I'm drawing a blank. There was the one pitcher that they didn't, not Ian Kennedy or those guys. They traded the one pitcher. What was his name? I can't remember his names. He was coming up with Benuelos. There was a bunch of guys they would trade. The only guy that turned out to be anything was like Garrett Cooper. And he wasn't a top prospect. I don't even know if he was. I'm pretty sure he was in that move for Stanton. But anyway, that they're not getting. If you want to give up George Lombard, they could get a lot. I think if the Yankees were to go to the Giants and say, we'll give you one of the young outfielders, preferably Dominguez, I would assume. But if I was them, I wouldn't give up on Dominguez. I think healthy and a full year of actually getting the play, he might actually be a good player. But if you probably tell them, we'll give you one of the good young outfielders, we'll give you one of our young pitchers in the farm system, and if they're not going to want Jazz. And you probably have to throw in money and I don't think the Giants are not eating part of that contract. And if they do, you're going to have to give up even more. You could theoretically get Devers and Arise, and you deal with the problem of having everyone healthy at the same time, which is a good problem to have. I also don't want to get rid of Jazz when I think if he turns the corner, he could be a serviceable guy for them, as we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I think, and again, Mets fans go through this too. The complete over-evaluation of the value of players, right?
I think that's just a guy who's fed up and thinks that they're going to get something because somebody wants to get out for money, and you have to give up something still. Right, if you want Devers and Arise, they're going to say no, but the first name you're asking for is Ben Rice. And the Yankees are going to say no, but you start with Ben Rice. And then they're going to turn around. They're going to ask for George Lombard or LeBron.
You're not starting with trash.
Spencer Jones.
With role players. You're starting with Ben Rice plus.
Yeah. Well, this is like you call up in the offseason. You're like, well, what if the Yankees gave up Austin Wells, Jazz Chisholm, and Jason Dominguez for Mike Trout? Who says no? It's lunacy. 888-808-1019. Rich in Pompton Plains. What's going on, Rich?
Hey, Anthony. First time calling you.
What's going on?
You kind of moved on from the whole plant thing, and I hate to be like a downer on this whole thing, but apparently plants really only produce oxygen through photosynthesis when they're getting sunlight.
Right.
At night, they actually produce carbon monoxide. But there's a whole host of other benefits of having plants, your mental health and stuff. So I just want to throw that out there because I was pretty sure that was the case, and I Googled it just to make sure, and yeah, sure enough. But me, I just open a window. I mean,
so you're telling me the plants are killing me now? Is that what
No,
you're telling me?
not at all.
That's what you're saying. I'm talking to this thing, and it's stabbing me in the back.
No, man. Hey, I'm sorry.
I'm just playing, Rich.
Yeah, no. Enjoy your plant, and good luck with your new apartment and your engagement and everything else,
Rich,
man.
I appreciate you, Rich. They're killing me now. The lettuce is killing you. The plants are killing you in your sleep. Everything's bad. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what he was saying. I got it. It's funny. That made me laugh. I'm still going to talk to him, When I'm playing NCAA football and I start to get mad, I start yelling at it. How could you throw that? I'm bringing Sac State back to the big time. 888-808-1019. Evan in Astoria. What's going on, Evan?
Hey, what's going on?
How are you, dude?
So, I'm talking about these Giants wide receivers. First of all, it's Neighbors, Slayton. By the way, speaking of Slayton, geez Louise, I tossed this right night thinking about the fact that his contract is what Saquon Barkley accepted from the Eagles, give or take $1 million or something like that. And then it's going to be, Fields, Mooney, Calvin Austin. But if it comes down to a 6 wide receiver, if they're keeping 6, and we're talking about Juice, hey, team that's been an embarrassment except for 2 years, for like 20 years now. Can you just keep Odell? Can we just have a nice thing? Like, what?
Evan, I'm not a Giants fan, but I feel you. But I do think if they're keeping 6 guys, and let's say Jalen Hyatt is cut, whatever it is, however they go about those 6 guys, I do think they're going to view Calvin Austin as a special teams guy that they could play also in at wideout as well. So I don't think it's too far fetched that they do that.
But I think Deontay Banks is going to be doing a lot more returning because, by the way, who decided to give him number 2?
Well, I got you. I feel that. But also, to be fair, that's probably his best value because he actually looked decent as a return man last year.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. But so what I'm saying is that let's say all things being relatively equal, we're talking about you're trying to pick our last wide receiver on the roster, and we're talking about what's the guy from the Bills? Isaiah Hodgins. We're talking about Juju Smith-Schuster and stuff. Guys who are not going to be the linchpin of why this team is successful this year. Hey, full-blown embarrassment organization with a literal guy from the Epstein files on ownership on draft night. How about you sign the guy we like? Would it kill you?
Well, that's fair. To be fair, distractions. Evan, I appreciate the call. It's not a bad thought either.
Yeah, be well.
It's not. And also from an entertainment aspect, again, I am not a Giants fan. I'm not a Jets fan. I do want both teams to do well. I'm so sick of talking about bad football, and by October, we're already looking ahead to who the quarterback is going to be, who the coach is going to be, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. It would be nice. I know Giant fans aren't going to necessarily like this. It would be nice to just keep Odell. It gives us a story. I also think, let's say it comes down to like Odell, Juju, and Jalen Hyatt. Who do we think, if they're 100%, could potentially give you the most? I would say it was Odell. I know he's washed up. He's older. He's banged up. But I do think there's a chance he could be something. I'm more positive, and I know Pat Leonard said not to jump the gun on Darnell Mooney. I do feel a little bit more positive about their wide receiver room. You bring in Malachi. You have hopefully Neighbors by 3 weeks, 3, 4, 5, one of those. I know Pat said he's not necessarily going to be 100% right away, but let's hope week 3 he's back. You have Malachi. You add Darnell Mooney. Calvin Austin's like a boomer bust guy. Slayton's going to be there. I don't know if Jalen Hyatt's making the team this year. And then I would assume maybe one of these guys makes the team. And I know Juju's a little younger. I'd rather have Odell there. I know it's an entertainment thing. It's maybe the name is what draws me to it. But that's where we are. And we're talking football again. Wednesday, the Giants' first practice. I think the Jets' first practice is this week, early this week as well. So we're right there. NFL football right around the corner. Is the league? Maybe the league opens on Wednesday. Who cares? We're back to football. Now we're going to speculate. The hope is here. Everyone, clean slate. Doesn't matter what you did in the offseason. It doesn't matter how you felt about the draft, how you felt about free agency. We are here. And football is right around the corner. And it's the best time because everyone's got a shot. 888-808-1019. I got you for a little bit over a half hour left until Lori at 5 o'clock. Anthony Gallo back after this.
From off-season moves to position battles and the biggest storylines surrounding the Giants and Jets, WFAN is getting you ready for football season. Expert analysis, breaking news, insider insight. Football lives here. WFAN.
At NYU Langone Health, we know there really is no place like home. That's why we get our surgery patients home faster and have fewer readmissions than any other health system. That means once you're home, you won't need to go back for the same procedure. Instead, you can get back to the things you love. And the next time you need something else, we're here. Better health starts with a better health system. Learn more at nyulangonehealth.org.
Where the West Village, Tribeca, and Soho meet, Hudson Square has been reimagined as one of the city's most compelling creative hubs. For over a decade, Hudson Square Properties has brought together the world's leading technology, media, and fashion companies across a 13-building office and retail portfolio. They offer full floors to entire buildings, from pre-built to raw space, with the flexibility to scale without ever leaving the neighborhood. And Hudson Square was just declared the newest dining destination by the New York Post. Hudson Square Properties, where great stories start.
Your sales team has the talent. They've got the tools. They don't have time to close the deals you need to win unless they have sales with AI. SAILES.com. Sales.com. New shoes, new clothes, brand new grade. Switch to Verizon to make sure their tech keeps up. This back to school season, buy or bring any Android phone and get a Samsung Galaxy tablet on us. Get your kids ready for the school year without breaking the bank. Visit Verizon.com or your local store today. Bring an Android phone or purchase a new phone with device payment on postpaid service plan required. $329.99 tablet device payment purchase with new line on $20 per month tablet plan for 36 months required. Less $330 tablet promo credit applied over 36 months. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply.
Did you know the average person keeps the same bank account for 19 years? 19 years ago, you still had a flip phone. That was just a phone. If you're still banking like you did when you parallel parked with just your eyes and a prayer, it's time for a change. Upgrade to Citizens, where how you bank changes with you. With our enhanced mobile app, you can track your credit score and talk to our chat assistant, Sizzy. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/made-ready. Member FDIC.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Thursday, August 27th when the Yankees host the Astros for a very special night in the Bronx, Seinfeld Night. The first 18,000 guests will receive a George Costanza Calzone bobblehead presented by Star. Tickets are on sale now at yankees.com/tickets. Don't miss Seinfeld Night and the George Costanza Calzone bobblehead, Thursday, August 27th. Yankees versus Astros at Yankee Stadium.
Orgavada Zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Your New York Yankees are chasing another championship. Talk Yankees baseball with the Fan at 888-808-1019. The WFAN phone line is powered by Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus presents the biggest summer in UFC history.
That's right. Anthony Gallo, 888-808-1019, right here on The Fan. I got you for another half hour. So, beautiful producing right there by Paul Rosenberg. You got to ease into it there. You just shut it off. This guy. I'm gonna let slide because he just gave me a delicious coffee. What was that? A coffee cinnamon cake? All right, this is worse. I take it back. I hate this guy so much.
It was a cinnamon coffee cake, yes.
Delicious. I almost choked on it, but delicious.
Very good.
A little dry. The throat's a little dry right now.
Get some water.
I did. All right, relax. Turn this off, please. I can't with the Bulls. The 90s are almost 30 years ago now. They're almost all done. 3 more years, 30 years from now. All right?
No,
Enough.
It's been 30 years. That's 40 years from now.
No. 99, meaning
We're
the entire 90s.
2026.
Yes, and when 2029 comes around, the entire 90s will be 30 years ago.
But 1990 it's been 36 years.
Okay. Paul, I hate you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. What I don't hate is, look at that for a transition. What I don't hate is these Dodgers hats are pretty dope. I'm assuming they're an ode to the Brooklyn Dodgers. It's got like the diamond with the B in it. Very cool. And they are losing to the Mets right now, which means absolutely nothing. And I hope everybody on the Mets gets traded. Just blow it all up.
On the subject of trading, this is from John Heyman. Mason Miller safe today. Chance of Miller trade is diminishing, according to John Heyman.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
just a little nugget for the Yankees fans who are desperate to get Mason Miller.
And they play the Rockies and Giants next. I'm telling you right now, and this even goes for me I floated out Machado. It's not happening. You got to think of the only thing you want guarantees. The Rockies, Mets, Giants are 100% sellers. I think the Reds are going to be sellers. They're 6 games out. They're 7 down in the loss column. And then in the AL, the Angels, Royals, and A's. The Blue Jays aren't trading with the Yankees, so I'm not. That's nothing. They're 5.5 out. They're not trading with the Yankees, but those other teams might. So you got to go and look there. So there you go. The Mason Miller dream, dead. And I also think the injury to Shane Langoliers kind of hurts the Yankees in the sense that it's one less option, but it's also one less, even if he wasn't a possibility for the Yankees, it's one less thing that you can't use to negotiate against the Rockies or the Twins or whoever's got a catcher that you want to chase after. Well, actually, now do the A's? I guess it doesn't matter because they're not good. Do the A's trade their Mitch Haniger, who's their backup catcher now? I would assume yes because they're not good. So why would they hold on to a veteran on like a 1-year deal? 888-808-1019. So there you go. John Heyman, superstar closer Mason Miller locks down Padres save. Blah blah. Chances of a Miller trade are diminishing. And earlier, if you didn't hear, Bellinger to the 10-day IL, Spencer Jones called up. So the Yankee trade market continues. And Heyman also tweeted this earlier. I just saw this now. Yankees may seek a righty outfielder, but seem leery about Luis Robert Jr. after his injury troubles. Some other possibilities, if available: Lane Thomas, Spencer Steer, Joe Adell, Jorge Soler, and George Springer. So there you go. Those are some names out there. I mean, Joe Adell would be great at speed, got pop, plays great defense. I still think that they should focus on the left side of the infield and catcher. Brian in Westbury, what's going on, Brian?
How you doing? I was a little disappointed when I heard about Bellinger. I watched the game last night. I hope he gets back quick because I really think that the Yankees really need him on.
He also was just starting to take off, too, which is just, it sucks the timing.
Yeah. On the Yankees need a catcher, and somebody called me early before, and I was listening. How about going to the Giants and getting Chapman to play third base? He's a righty hitter. He's an excellent third baseman.
Well, let me ask you this, though. How much of an upgrade do you want at third base?
Well, third base is a power position, and they're not getting anything over at third base.
It's a power position. Ryan McMahon has more home runs than Matt Chapman.
Okay. All right, but look at his batting average.
I mean, I get it. He's hitting 211, but Matt Chapman's hitting 235. They're not, again, that's not really an upgrade. Like, yes, he's a great defender, but I don't think the Yankees defense needs to be upgraded. They need a bat. And I understand, Brian. I get where you're coming from. But that's not an upgrade. This is not the first time. Maybe Brian has been the one that called in. In 300 at-bats, Matt Chapman has 7 home runs, 42 RBIs. So he's got a ton more RBIs than Ryan McMahon. In 227 at-bats, McMahon has more home runs than him. Their OPS is basically the same. Their slugging percentage is basically the same. Their on-base percentage that's where the gap is. McMahon is far more, less than Chapman. But is that the upgrade? It is an upgrade. Like, don't get me wrong. It is an upgrade. But is that the guy you want? Why not just go and get... sacrifice the defense a little bit and go and get an Arise or a Devers. Just make the leap. Just leap. I don't know. It's actively frustrating in that aspect. But there's going to be... They're going to get better. It's just how much better are they going to get? And that's where my concerns are. Like, if they only make incremental moves, I don't think they're in that window right now to make incremental moves. You have to go and get a bat. I think Bellinger's going to be fine. But let's say he's not back for 3 weeks. It's 10 days, so we know he's not going to be back for at least 2 weeks. I think that's safe to say. But he's on the 10-day IL. It's a hamstring strain. We've seen how that's affected people in the past. So you have to go out there and make a move, and I don't think you need to just, base everything off of the health of Aaron Judge. Why would getting a guy like Devers affect them when it comes to the health of Aaron Judge? Because even if Judge isn't ready for this year, you have him for next year. And I've changed my tune a bit, and I forgot who the caller's name was, but I wasn't on this past weekend. But the weekend prior, a caller pointed out, like with the money coming off the books next year and the potential for Stanton's contract, kind of downscales every year, and they have money coming off in different aspects. Getting a big contract doesn't hurt them as much. So if you get a Devers and Judge isn't healthy, you have him next year. You have him the year after that. And you have a four-headed monster of Ben Rice, Aaron Judge, Bellinger, and Devers, and you go from there. And you hope that maybe one of these young guys grows, maybe Jazz takes a leap, whatever it is. This year, though, if Judge does come back, if Bellinger comes back, which I think he is, which we can't even speculate, he is coming back. Until I see something worse on the injury front, I'm going to say he is coming back. But on the Judge front, you assume he's coming back. If you can add a bat, and it's that bat, Ben Rice, Aaron Judge, and Bellinger, and then you hope Jazz gets better. You hope Trent Grisham runs, is as, just a timely hitter, and, you're not going to expect too much of him. And then you worry about second or, short and third, or catcher and short, or third and catcher, whatever it is, later. And you can improve the bullpen. The Yankees could go from there. They also can't sit and wait. And if you look at the teams that are available, the Angels have guys, like it doesn't have to be Mike Trout. It could be a Joe Adell. I don't know about the Royals, which route you would go with the Royals. But with the Rockies, Hunter Goodman, if you're going to take a swing and take a risk, wouldn't you want to take it on a young player? A guy that's 26, 27 years old. I think he's 26. He might even be younger than that. And he's a catcher. He can hit. You can't argue he's a good defender. He's shown he can hit on the road at times. You go out there, you add him, you have your catcher of the future. He's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter if you gave up some young prospects. I mean, from the Mets, you're not getting anything. From the Giants, catching position is poor too. So we'll see. They have the opportunity to get better. They have the opportunity to really cement themselves, not just in the American League, but also as a World Series contender. They can compete in the American League as currently constructed. The American League is weak. They can win the division as currently constructed. But the hope is that you want to get to the playoffs and leave no stone unturned. You don't want to leave any doubt that you can compete with anyone on any night. And then you have to get to the World Series to win the World Series. And if the Yankees go away, I guarantee you right now, let's say for all the Yankee fans that want Mason Miller, if they only go and get Mason Miller and they lose because they're not scoring any runs, you will all shred Brian Cashman. You will all demand him get fired, as you always do. You could go get a lesser bullpen arm that is just as impactful because your bullpen is already good. 888-808-1019. I got you one more segment. The great Lori Rubinson is coming up at 5 o'clock. We'll continue the Mets conversation, the Yankees conversation, the Mets, Jets, Giants. It's all on the board. Maybe you're talking to your plants like I am. Who knows? We got all that to talk about in a little bit of time. Anthony Gallo, back after this.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 101.9 FM.
You didn't get drafted by or signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. No offense to the Jaguars. You're putting on a freaking Giants uniform. You're putting on a Giants helmet. There have been legends and Hall of Famers and champions and just absolute dogs.
Get Boomer and Gio on demand. Available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is New Jersey Attorney General Jen Davenport. Thinking about speeding? Think again. Don't let speeding be the reason that you or someone else doesn't make it home. Slow down and drive safely, New Jersey.
When you're at my level, you even spell sales differently. S-A-I-L-E-S. Now, I've closed enough deals to know a couple things. Hustle takes breaks. Infrastructure doesn't. The best sales teams don't wake up wondering where pipeline will come from. It's always working. Quietly, in the background. Sales AI is pipeline as infrastructure. Always on, like a power grid running under your reps. Start today at SAILES.com.
When you own your own business, you own every decision.
catch the red eye, or take the 6 a.m.
Make a new hire or promote internally.
Celebrate a win with the toast at the gate, or unwind at the lounge. Big props to this team.
Some decisions are a win-win, like earning 8 times points on Chase Travel. Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Instant Kohl's Cash is powerful. You spend $25 and earn $10 Kohl's Cash to use instantly on nearly everything store-wide. So now you're grabbing new shoes and nodding at your receipt like you negotiated the deal. Plus, Kohl's Rewards members earn 3 times rewards. Get instant Kohl's Cash this weekend at Kohl's. Offer valid July 23rd through 26th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
Hey, Boomer Esiason here. You know, after years in the game, I don't guess. I go with what works. Red Pocket Mobile gives you 3 major 5G networks to choose from. Switching cities? Switch your network. That's like calling your own Audible. Visit redpocket.com to see why more Americans are switching to better wireless without paying more. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford crew.
Anna, what says summer to you?
Sunshine, road trips, camping.
And?
Ford being #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands according to J.D. Power.
And?
And low APR offers with Ford credit financing on a select lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs.
My kind of summer.
For APR offer information, visit Ford.com or your local Ford dealer. For J.D. Power 2026 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2026 model year.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Start your day with Boomer and Gio. Join the conversation weekday mornings from 6 to 10.